Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news, intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversation. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
Good morning. The wild weather continues. Sylvanus Petty resigns as WSC chair, and another man out on bail for murder is killed. It's all straight ahead this morning. I'm Dwight Strachan, and this is Morning Blend.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. You know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning again, Bahamas. It is Thursday, November 16th, 2023. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Again, I'm Dwight Strachan. In a moment, Laverne Gardner will be joining us. Also this morning, we're talking with Doctors Hospital about the relaunch of Doctors Hospital West. We'll get details about that. And later in business, we continue with our special series with Deltec Bank on the Deltec initiatives for young entrepreneurs, meeting another one of the finalists this morning. That's all straight ahead, but first, it's time for the overnight, the latest breaking news from while you were sleeping, and the top national and international headlines this morning. In the overnight, another man out on bail for murder, armed robbery, and possession of an unlicensed firearm murdered in front of a home on Catherine Street in Nassau Village. It happened yesterday. Police say the victim, 38 years old, was standing outside the home around 1 p.m. when a gold-colored car pulled up next to him. A gunman got out of that vehicle and began shooting at the victim, hitting him several times. The shooter fled the scene. The victim died at the scene. Police again making the usual appeal to anyone with information to contact them. North Luther MP Sylvanus Petty has resigned as executive chairman of the Water and Sewage Corporation less than a week after revelation in court that his daughter has a contract with the corporation. The Office of the Prime Minister confirming his resignation yesterday. It said that acting Prime Minister Chester Cooper accepted the resignation on behalf of the Prime Minister, and they thanked Petty for his service. It said the deputy chairman will serve as acting executive chair. Torres Hanna serves as deputy chairman. Hanna, a finance and accounting professional, previously worked as the director of strategic partnerships for the now bankrupt cryptocurrency exchange FTX Digital Markets, according to his LinkedIn profile. Petty has been unreachable for comment over the past 2 days. On his Facebook page yesterday, a quote from the Bible was posted, quoting Galatians 6:9. He quote, "Let us not be weary in well-doing, for in due season we shall reap if we faint not." Petty, a licensed electrician and businessman, was appointed executive chair in December 2021. He's also Deputy Speaker of the House of Assembly. Prime Minister Philip Davis is in Saudi Arabia as part of a CARICOM summit. with the Saudi king. Davis indicated to reporters on Monday that Petty's daughter's $26,000 contract with the corporation would be canceled. During the corruption trial, former executive chairman Adrian Gibson, Petty, who appeared as the first witness for the prosecution, was asked his views on the awarding of contracts to relatives. Damien Gomez KC, Gibson's lawyer, asked Petty if he ever voted for a contract for his daughter, son, or close family member. Petty said that none of his family ever came to the board for a contract, but then Gomez asked Petty if he knew that his daughter had a contract, a maintenance contract. Petty said that the board never voted on the contract as it was a smaller contract of only $26,000. Meanwhile, with that trial for Adrian Gibson, a Supreme Court jury hearing Wednesday the role that Elwood Donaldson, the former GM at the corporation, played in the award of non-bid painting contracts to landscaping companies. Donaldson's on trial alongside Gibson, the Long Island MP, Peaches Farquharson, Joanne Knowles, Rashay Gibson, and Jerome Missick. They're accused of corruption concerning the award of contracts during the MP's tenure as executive chairman of the board. And Labor Minister Pia Glover-Roll has suggested that the Davis administration would support extending maternity leave for mothers if the National Tripartite Council makes such a recommendation. Breastfeeding advocates have been lobbying for the national maternity leave to be lengthened from 13 weeks to 20 weeks. The NTC is expected to discuss the issue when it meets for its annual conclave next month. Overseas, from Haiti, a heavily armed gang surrounded a hospital Wednesday, trapping women, children, and newborns inside until police rescued them. That's according to the director of the medical center, who pleaded for help via social media. The Fontaine Hospital Center in the capital of Port-au-Prince is considered an oasis and a lifeline in a community overrun by gangs that have violent attacks against each other and residents. People who live in the capital's sprawling Cité Soleil slum are routinely raped, beaten, and killed. The hospital founder and director telling the Associated Press that gangs were torching homes around the hospital and preventing people inside from leaving. He initially said that it appeared some gang members had entered the hospital, but later said they did not go inside. He said members of Haiti's National Police Force responded to his call for help and arrived with 3 trucks to evacuate 40 children and 70 patients to a private home in a safer part of the city. Among those delicately evacuated were children on oxygen. A spokesperson for the National Police did not immediately return a message from the Associated Press seeking comment. The Brooklyn Gang has some 200 members and controls certain communities within Cité Soleil, including Brooklyn. They're involved in extortion, hijacking of goods, and general violence, according to a recent report by the United Nations. And the GPEP coalition and its allies strongly reinforced cooperation and diversified their revenues, in particular by committing kidnapping for ransom, which has enabled them to strengthen their fighting capacity. That's all in the report from the UN. And from China, a fire erupting in a coal company at a building in a northern Chinese city today, killing 26 people and injuring dozens of others. Rescue personnel evacuated 70 people and took 63 others to a hospital, according to state media. The dead were almost all workers. The fire was under control and rescue work was continuing Thursday afternoon. The buildings belong to Yangzhou Coal Company, and it's a major coal-producing region. The fire appeared to have started in the shower area of a building with offices and dormitories. Coal mine accidents have been relatively common in China, though the government has been working on improving safety. In sports, Bahamians Patrick McTaggart and Tatiana Madou coming out as the boys and girls singles champions at the Junkanoo Bowl that wrapped up just yesterday at the Bahamas Lawn Tennis Association Center. The Under-14 tournament, which was sponsored by Custom Computers, is a Central American and Caribbean Tennis Confederation event. Playing on court number 2, McTaggart won in straight sets over Barbados' Dimitri Curton in the final. You can read about how everybody did in today's Guardian Sports section. And longing to fight at home, Bahamian professional boxer Toriano Reno Johnson has emerged from the hiatus over the last 2 years, looking to put on a show here on Friday, December 22nd. He's moving up 3 weight classes from his last fight to cruiserweight, preparing for an exit from the sport, which he's been involved with since he was 7 years old. Venue's not known yet, but Johnson says it will be right here in Nassau. It will be announced later at some point. He'll be going up against Colombian Samuel Miller, who has well over 50 bouts under his belt. Johnson has a 21-3-1 win-loss draw record, while Miller sports a 36-30-0 record. Fight card will feature 4 Dominicans, another Colombian, 1 American, 1 boxer from Cameroon, and a Polish boxer. Read more about it in today's Guardian Sports section. From the NBA, the league has suspended Golden State's Draymond Green for 5 games for grabbing Minnesota's Rudy Gobert around the neck in an unsportsmanlike and dangerous manner. That's their words. The announcement coming Wednesday night, also penalized by the league for their roles in the incident, which happened early in Tuesday's game between the Timberwolves and the Warriors. Gobert, his Minnesota teammate Jaden McDaniels, and Golden State guard Klay Thompson all fined $25,000 by the league. But Green will pay the biggest price, both in terms of games missed and money lost. The suspension will cost him $769,704 in forfeited salary. The NBA saying in the release announcing the penalties that the length of the suspension is based in part on Green's history of unsportsmanlike acts. Those sanctions were handed down by Joe Dumars, the NBA's executive vice president and head of basketball operations, and a longtime mentor of Green's. That's sports, and that's the overnight. Time for your first look at weather. In your weather for today, we've got a low-pressure system that is moving across the extreme northwest Bahamas now. That's combined with a frontal boundary that's going to produce more of the unsettled weather we've been seeing. That's going to continue through tonight, while a tight pressure gradient north of the front will continue to generate strong to gale force winds and hazardous boating and beaching conditions. As a result, that gale warning is still in effect for the entire northwest Bahamas until this afternoon. Mariners and small craft operators should again remain in port, and beachgoers are advised to remain on shore and out of the water due to the treacherous high seas, rough surf, and dangerous rip currents. Motorists and pedestrians should exercise extreme caution while along coastal roads due to overtopping waves and sea spray, and there's a risk of possible waterspout or tornado activity. Flooding is possible in low-lying or flood-prone areas due to the heavy rainfall, and we're seeing that already, especially here in New Providence. So for today, your forecast for the northwest and central Bahamas: cloudy to overcast and very windy with widespread rain, showers, and isolated thunderstorms that will continue through tonight. Showers may be heavy and thunderstorms severe at times. Again, small craft operators should remain in port today. Winds easterly at 25 to 35 knots with higher gusts to strong gale at times, falling to southeast to south at 15 to 20 knots by late this afternoon over the extreme northwest Bahamas. That's Bimini, Grand Bahama, and Abaco. For the rest of the northwest Bahamas and the central islands, easterly at 20 to 25 knots today, shifting east to southeast at 10 to 15 knots or 15 to 25 knots this afternoon over the remainder of those islands. Seas 12 to 3 feet in the extreme northwest Bahamas, 7 to 10 feet today, diminishing to 5 to 8 feet later this afternoon for the remainder of the northwest Bahamas and the central islands. Expect higher seas and gusts and swells. For the southeast Bahamas today, mostly cloudy and breezy with isolated showers through tonight. Smallcraft advisory remains in effect. Winds east to southeast at 15 to 25 knots, gusting to near gale at times. Seas 7 to 10 feet in northeast to easterly swells. Temperatures today getting up to around 81 Fahrenheit, 27 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to 72 Fahrenheit, 22 Celsius. Currently in Nassau, it is about 74 degrees, light rain in some parts of New Providence. That's your first look at weather this morning. We'll have your extended outlook and a look at the tropics coming up after traffic in just a bit. You're listening to Morning Blend. When we come back, we're discussing the day's top stories right here on your home for fresh news and smart talk all day. Guardian Radio 96.9.
Win a vacation for two to Sandals Resort in Jamaica using your RBC Visa credit card in the RBC Gift Yourself the Ultimate Getaway promotion. Just spend $1,500 or local equivalent. Promotion ends on December 18, 2023. Visit rbcultimategetaway.com for more details.
Ready to save? You can put $100 into the CFAL Savings Express plan and make sure your money keeps growing. Earn interest on your savings while you're sleeping, eating, or standing in line at the bank. Ready to invest? Start by putting $1,000 into our mutual funds and earn interest there too. Because at CFAL, your interest is our interest. Visit CFAL.com to start now. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
Join the Bahamas Chamber of Commerce, SC Bahamas, and Alive Business on Saturday, November 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. at Crypto Isle on East Bay Street. See what's new, sample products, demo services, and shop from a variety of businesses throughout our local communities. We hope to see you at Trade Expo 2023 on November 4th. Admission is free and the event is family friendly. For more information, call the Bahamas Chamber of Commerce at 322-2145.
Scotia is turning your wishes into wins this holiday season. Spend $100 or more on your Scotia credit card between October 25th and January 10th, 2024 for a chance to win an amazing prize valued at $15,000 plus two consolation prizes of $5,000 each. Don't have a Scotia credit card yet? Apply today for a Scotiabank card online at bs.scotiabank.com or visit any Scotiabank branch. Conditions apply.
Wherever you're headed, the Custom Computers Know-How team is standing by to help guide you in the East and the West. We now have two convenient locations on Patton Street in Palmdale and our newest store in the Caves Village Shopping Plaza through the Blake Road entrance. Discover the latest products by top international brands and the knowledge you need to unleash tomorrow's technology today. Drop by Custom Computers out east or out west. We're open Saturdays from 10 till 4.
$90,000 in prizes. You could win. Alive Business Ultimate Business Makeover. Sign up or upgrade for Business in a Box for your chance to enter to win the Ultimate Business Makeover or a new Jack Electric V from Easy Car Sales. Go green and win thousands and other prizes to be won. Sign up or upgrade for Business in a Box today. Alive Business Ultimate Business Makeover. For more details, call 601-8911 in Nassau or 602-8811 in the Family Islands.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. You know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Revolution.
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com, and we're on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at MorningBlend969 or Facebook.com/MorningBlend969. Text us on the Guardian Radio text line, powered by BTC 422-4796. Standard text rates apply. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan. Joining me now, Laverne Gardner. Laverne, good morning.
Good morning.
Great to have you with us. How are things with you? And how's Grand Bahama?
Wet, very wet.
Yeah, you're having the same, of course, all of us are experiencing this.
But it's been from yesterday. Still going.
Yep, that sounds like it's going to be most of the day today. Hopefully it'll start to ease up by tonight. But out there's a mess, folks. Here in New Providence, the streets are flooded. Some are very bad. And if you need to be somewhere for 9 o'clock, you're late. You're very late. And if you need to be somewhere for 8 o'clock, if you leave now, you can get there tomorrow by 8 o'clock. So keep that in mind. Independence Drive, particularly horrible. It's a lake. And you're going to see lots of delays this morning. So everybody.
So let's be very careful out there.
Yeah.
Let's exercise patience if we're on the road. It's very wet. Here in Grand Bahama, there are areas that flood. I mean, you have to say this because there's always someone in this kind of weather, more than someone.
Yeah, some 100. 101.
Who's out there continuing to drive recklessly, taking chances, cutting in and out. Hey, let's calm it down and take it easy.
Yeah.
Because if you had to be to work for 7:30, you late anyway. So
8, as I said, 8. You're late. So folks, calm down. I saw a lot of stupid behavior this morning already. So it's going to be one of those days, and everyone's going to be challenged. So I think most people will be understanding. I hope.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Okay. So coming up this morning, we're going to be talking with Doctors Hospital about relaunching Doctors Hospital West on Blake Road here in New Providence. We'll get details about that. And later, it's part 4 in our special series with Deltec Bank, the Deltec Young Entrepreneurs. We're meeting another one of the finalists today in Morning Blend Business. So that's all straight ahead. But right now, let's get into what else is in the news. And in the news, we are getting messages, people asking, heard anything about schools being closed? And honestly, haven't seen anything yet, but I was thinking that on the way in that, honestly, some of these schools don't need to be open today. They really don't. And principals, seriously, evaluate your situation. If you know where your students are coming from and you know those areas flood, do you really need to put them in this kind of them and their parents in this kind of situation? I'm just telling you, and it's going to be all day that we're dealing with this. So think about that very carefully. Parents, you think about that too. But haven't heard anything. And some are going to say, it's just a little bit of rain. Oh, well, okay. Not really, but keep that in mind. And again, more rain to come. All right, so the big headline in the paper, of course, confirming what had been rumored and based on sources, well-placed sources, what we reported yesterday, that the Prime Minister did ask Sylvanus Petty to resign as Water and Sewerage Chair, Executive Chair, and now it's all confirmed that he is out. We're going to get to that in a bit. I have a lot of questions, and I'm sure you do as well. We'll get to that. But it's happened again.
What's happened?
Another man out on bail for murder.
Oh, yes.
Murdered.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's like
it's
a weekly thing.
Yeah, it's becoming commonplace.
It's like a football game every week. You tune in for that. Boy, a man on bail for murder and also armed robbery and possession of an unlicensed firearm was murdered in front of a home on Catherine Street in Nassau Village yesterday. According to police, the victim, who's 38 years old, was standing outside the home around 1 p.m. when a gold-colored car pulled up next to him. Someone got out of the car and began shooting at the victim, hitting him several times. The shooter fled the scene, and the victim died at the scene. Police again asking anyone with information to come forward. And I'm heard Superintendent, the police liaison officer, Kristen Skippings, making the appeal to people with information about relatives with illegal firearms to come forward. Same thing again as always, but here we are.
Yeah, this is what happens now. You get bail, and somebody's gonna either attempt to kill you or kill you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's gang related, so it's revenge, it's street justice. I don't know what it is, but we got to figure this out.
Well, we've been saying that, and yet here we still are. So as I keep saying, obviously this is the way we like
Part
it.
of the plan?
Yeah, this must be our way of dealing with things, which is crazy. But since there's been no movement, this is it. Maybe we should stop talking about it. Is that what we want? Is that the type of country we want to be, though? Where, yes, innocent until proven guilty, sure. But if you get bail for murder, which is interesting all by itself, you're going to get killed. And that's just how it is. Welcome to the Bahamas. Everybody else, govern yourself accordingly. We come to the agreement that this is who we are.
I don't know if we've come to that agreement. I don't believe that we've come to that agreement, but this is what is happening.
Every week.
This is what is happening. And, there is a small fraction of society that they've determined that this is the way that they are going to live. This is the way that they are going to extract justice, I guess. And we seem incapable or unwilling to try to do something about that. Can we do anything?
I'm sure
about
we can.
It?
We absolutely can.
What can we do?
Yeah.
Do we need to look at this bail act? In terms of, well, like you said, innocent until proven guilty. So
obviously
people
don't believe that.
I don't know how much bail you could get. Like it's always someone who is on bail for 2 murders, a murder, an armed robbery, an aggravated. What? Mm-hmm. That's usually it.
Yeah.
It's always at least 3 things.
This is what we want. This is clearly what we want. Let's hear what you have to say about it, folks. 323-6232. 325-4316. 325-4259. 242-300-5720. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. Let's go to this call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight. Good morning to you guys.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I want to express a little concern about how cavalierly you and your guests are dismissing the concept of innocent until proven guilty. You're throwing that out like, yes, innocent until proven guilty.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing, right? If these people are getting bail, that's a judicial matter, right? Where the courts have said the police or the prosecutor, whatever, has not given us reason to believe that this person is a threat to society, so they should have bail. Then then that they're getting killed. I think it's reckless for the police and media person like yourself to always say, well, this was on bail, right? Because if you're on bail, you have not been convicted of a crime. Anybody could accuse you, Dwight, of committing something, and then if you get killed, like I say, well, they accused Dwight, so Dwight must have been guilty, so let's not take his death seriously, right? If we want to say that, I don't think it's relevant for a person being murdered whether or not they were on bail, because the tacit implication is that this person was guilty, so it's not as bad. So I think as in the media, you need to be very careful with how you frame that, how you all are just dismissing.
Is it the media or is it the police who are doing that? And again, I wasn't doing that. I was saying that is the case, but yet people are going and murdering these folks. So I'm not the one who is disputing
I
this.
think we're focusing more on the fact that it appears that there is a trend, an unfortunate trend, but a trend nonetheless, that these persons who are on bail for certain crimes, it tends to be more than one that they are being murdered. That's really more our focus than the fact that we're being very cavalier or we think that it doesn't matter because they are people on bail. So our point is that this is a trend, and what are we doing about it?
Yeah, it's not us being cavalier. It's society, it's this country being cavalier, right? These folks, they are granted bail. They are innocent until proven guilty, but everyone seems to accept that they don't deserve to live. We're not doing anything about it. This is how many times has this been going on? How many times has this happened? It's been happening for years. And yet, every week, here we are. So that is the question. Obviously, as very few people are saying anything and there's little that's being done by our lawmakers, we must clearly have accepted that this is the way it is.
I agree with what you're saying. And this is why I pull immediately to account that. The police are going to say that this person was on bail, right? And they always throw that caveat in. And then as the media, and I'm not blaming you as the genesis of this problem, I think your part in the media, and I'm saying this because if I spoke to a police officer, I would speak to the police officer about their thing, but I can only speak to you for what you're responsible for, in my opinion, yes?
Okay.
So I think that when the media continues to report this thing, well, this person was on bail, this person was on bail, I think it gives people the credence. I don't know if you remember when the Prime Minister Davis, before he became Prime Minister, when he was Deputy Prime Minister, when he and his family were accosted by the robbers. Prior to that, he had said, pockets of crime, it's only people involved in crime that are being affected by crime and use retaliation. They try to make it a retaliation kind of narrative. I'm saying that when the police say these things that people are on bail, it's almost as if to make it seem as if we as the Bahamian public shouldn't be bothered as much because these people on bail. You know what I mean? As if presumptively they are guilty. This is retaliation killing. I'm saying that's a problem because every life should be precious. And if a person is accused, when they say they've been accused multiple times, they're on bail again, then we need to ask the question, well, what is the standard for bail being given? Are police doing a good enough job with their investigation, or are they just charging people? Because if the police can charge you and then court gives you bail, then you get charged again. So there is, I think, to solve this problem is not just a matter of the Bail Act, but what type of investigation or what does it take for the police to bring charges against someone that, or the court's backed up and we need more attorneys, more judges, something to that effect. Because if the police can charge Dwight 3 times, serious crimes, and you get bail all 3 times, what is it that the court is saying, well, yes, he's been charged, but there's no evidence? How long between a charge and your trial and coming up, etc.? I think these are more vital questions as opposed to just what are we going to do about the Bail Act? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, all those things have been discussed before. I mean, and yet again, here we still are. Right, the lawyers will tell you exactly why. The judges will tell you exactly why they give bail. But yet here we still are. And I think the police do want to say that to people because it isn't random people being targeted. It seems, right? It isn't just you standing up on the side of the street getting shot. It's something else going on. And we can't ignore that fact. And they cannot hide that fact. They shouldn't hide that. So I'm not sure what you're suggesting. But all these issues that you're saying, all these things need to be addressed. Something has to be done. And we can't sit back and accept this is just the way it is. And that's the point of what we're asking. But thank you for your call. Appreciate it. Okay. Let's take this call as well. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Hi, good morning. You're on the air.
Hello?
Hi, yes, good morning.
Yes, Dwight and Ms. Gardner. That last caller, he beat all around the bush. What do you want the police to come and say? The police liaison officer, Ms. Kristen Skippins, to come on and lie? She stated as it is. She stated the case as it is. You're on bail for murder. And he feel, he trying to, he want blamed, or the police shouldn't say this, or the news shouldn't, the media shouldn't broadcast. But he failed to say that's criminals killing criminals. That's the majority of the murders are persons who gangs killing the next gangs or criminals.
Somebody's killing criminals. Somebody.
They even killed someone the other day on bail for attempted murder, not murder. Attempted murder.
Mm-hmm. Somebody's killing alleged criminals.
We can't deny that.
Make it sound like it's just a normal, natural death. The people are criminals killing criminals, and he failed to say that.
Allegedly,
I
yes.
actually 35 years, and I went around the court 11 and a half years for those 35. So I know other things. The lawyers in most cases hold the cases up. And sometimes you have to wait for the evidence to come back. When sometimes they have to send those evidence away to get tested and all, no blood samples and all kind of stuff like that. So all those things hold up the case. That's why the judge them have to give bail. You can't keep a person in jail because when they turn around and sue the Crown. You understand? That call, he's rather pretty, that man. Probably just had somebody gone down and he don't want the police to say he was on bail for murder. Is he on bail for murder? Christian Scrippers can't put it up for you, and the news media can't put it up for you. The news is supposed to broadcast a case as it is. You understand, Dwight?
Definitely. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. All right. A couple more calls on this. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Cousin Dwight, and good morning, Laverne.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Wonderful, the GNN here. I am in accordance with the last caller, the caller prior to that, Dwight. He's trying to be politically correct, but he made a mess of it. What you and Laverne and all of us are expressing is extreme frustration and exhaustion at what is going on in this country, and nothing is being done. That is what you're basically expressing to the nation in simple words. You ain't trying to put it like how you put it in no big time where you say, man, they said, are we tired of this? That's frustration and exhaustion. And that's all I call to say in support of you and Laverne, eh?
Okay, thank you very much.
All right.
It's not us versus him or them, but
right.
we've got to get a handle on this.
The point is we have a problem. Here's the point, and we need to look at it from all aspects. The fact of the matter is that it appears as if those persons who have been granted bail for more than one serious crime, those are the people who are being gunned down and murdered. They're standing up someplace and they're being shot down. We can't look at it and say it's a coincidence, right? So this, to my mind, is strategic planning. Oh, somebody knows, these people know that this person has received bail, is out on bail. They know exactly where they are. And then they go and they execute them.
Mm-hmm.
What are we doing about this? This is what is happening.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is what is happening. Is it gang related? Is it retaliation? Is it to keep them quiet? I don't know what it is. But what I do know is that we clearly have a problem. We clearly have an issue. So we have to look at the court system. We have to look at the Bail Act and how we grant bail. Should a person be granted, you're already out on bail for aggravated assault. You're already out on bail for armed robbery. And you're now out on bail for attempted murder. Like, how does it work? Do we have to relook at that? Do we have to say at some point, I don't know. It's almost as if it's sad to think that you have to, but if these people are going to even live to go to trial to see if they are declared innocent or guilty, it's almost as if you have to keep them in protective custody because they're not even making it to the next trial date.
Got a lot of text messages and more calls coming in. Let's get to some of these messages and we'll get to those callers. This person says your people on bail will stop being murdered when they change their habits. What now? News reports regularly note that such victims are killed outdoors in social circumstances. I know a murder suspect who is gang affiliated and has survived on bail for years with no incident. Oh, boy, okay. But he has been careful enough to limit his movements. Oh, my goodness gracious.
What is this? Is this like a plan now?
Most of these fellows want to be up and down more than the average Bahamian. They make themselves easy targets. This is a disturbing text, boy.
Why should they even be anyway? Okay. All right.
Anyway, you can imagine knowing someone killed your family member and living life freely. Not everyone leaving that to God, especially your child. I'll ask God for forgiveness because if I catch you slipping, you're done. What? All of you are very disturbed people. Really, boy. Okay. This one says that the Bahamas has to be the most jokey Christian society. Every time a politician is held accountable, they evoke God. Invoke, I think you mean. But the Almighty is never present when they are allegedly partaking in the wrongdoing. Okay, Texter. The problem isn't bail because everyone is innocent until proven guilty, so they are entitled to bail. The problem is cases take way too long to go to trial, and we end up with persons on bail for multiple offenses. But what happens is people lose faith in the justice system and are resulting, dealing in need of self-help, I think we're trying to say. Yeah. But self-help often leads to innocent victims being unintended targets, not just the accused on bail. Yeah. Let's take these calls.
So then all of these things that are happening now with people who are out on bail, then is this the society saying that they no longer have confidence in our justice system in its current state? That I feel the need that I have to take my own hands because I don't believe that this person who's accused, I believe that they're guilty and I don't believe that they will be prosecuted, and so I have to take it into my own hands. So is this society saying that we don't have confidence in our system?
Let's take this call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Dwight, how are you?
Doing well.
Miss Gardner, how are you?
Good morning.
Morning to you. Again, as we attend church each Sunday with our pretty hats, our lovely dress, lovely suits, Saturdays and Sunday, and we ask and we said that we are calling on this God. As we, as a nation, until we own up as a nation that we have failed the family, one, we have produced poorly socialized children, and we are in denial, nothing will change. For example, every time the superintendent gave her statement at a crime scene, the evidence is clear that etc. was out on bail, etc. Some criminal element is connected to him. This shows the poorly socialized of our society, and it shows that these boys come from some family. I do agree with one of the callers that everyone is innocent until proven guilty. But as we parade church,
I can't understand and see for the life of me, why can't we accept the responsibility, each one of us in our household, and admit that we have failed, and this is why we have this poorly socialized society in every which way. We are parading around like the ostrich with our head in the sun and living in denial and just wondering, Lord, am I going to be next? We have to our children already knew what we do. Our children knew we live in a lie. Our children knew that this corruption, what we call success, is not success. So we plant the seed. Now they believe they can handle it. So it's just a repeat cycle. And that even applied to me. Have a wonderful day.
Okay. Thank you very much. All right. Let's take this call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Yes, sir. Good morning to all.
Hi.
You know, I'm more concerned about whether these crimes are being interdicted, you know, those many crimes of murders of people who've been out on bail, right? As well as, you know, but something was even more important. You know, these people most of them comes from the inner city or poor neighborhoods, right? And I feel like in this Bahamas, like with this by-election, it brings out the light where there's a constituent with 6,000 voters, you know, and lack of majority rule, where there's another with 1,400 voters, you know, and the constituents in Nassau, the inner city in Nassau, Grand Bahama and Abaco, you know, they lack a majority rule. Their rule, their vote is not, you know what I'm saying, lack power. You understand? It's deficient. And nobody in the media is addressing it. They always talk about the distance away from these far-flung islands. What about Grand Bahama that is far-flung in the lake? You see, and, you know, it's time that us, you know...
What do you mean by that? What do you mean nobody in the media is talking about it? What does that mean?
Well, they bring up... They haven't talked with us since this election about the difference and the imbalance in power. And in the United States, they're addressing that every day. When majority, when black minority vote is being gerrymandered. You understand? Because of the imbalance and the sickness Bahamas.
Well, folks in the media are talking about it more than the people in the Bahamas. So until the people get on board with it, that's the problem. So y'all are quick to say media, but it's the people. The people. So, right? Do you want it to change? Do you want it to change? Because the people who you've elected don't seem to think it's important. And when you replace them, the ones who come behind also don't seem to think it's important. So have you ever even talked to them about it? Do you, or do you ask about contracts? That's what they keep saying, right? So don't blame the media. Every time we talk about it, we get nasty messages about what you're trying to do to this country. You're trying to make it like America. So please, it's the people, and the people need to get it. That this system is not working for most of us. It's working for a few people, quite a few. They're doing very well, no matter who's in charge. But most of us, no, especially the Family Islands. But what are you doing? So, no, don't blame the media. Let's get these messages in. This person says here, let the criminals kill themselves, just not my good criminal son. Okay. I may have watched too many movies, but what if there is some bigger boss that gets hit? Okay. The killers get bail if the evidence is weak and cannot secure a conviction. That's not quite it. It's mainly about flight risk. All right, if you can assure that the person is going to be preferably alive in order to stand the trial and will not run off. It's mainly about that. Mainly. Anyway.
Well, Dwight, the way it's looking, we don't seem to be able to guarantee that first part that you said, which is that the person will be alive.
Well, they aren't a flight risk. They aren't a flight risk, and so that's the main thing.
This is what I'm saying. This is what's happening. They're not making it to trial for a jury of their peers to either determine based on the evidence and everything whether they're innocent or guilty. They're not making it to trial.
Well, the backlog
They're
is
getting
being...
bail, and then they're losing their life.
The backlog is being addressed. So, this person says, I think the problem is deeper. It shows that one element of the society does not believe that the system works for them. So then they have to come up with their own justice system. They see white-collar crimes going unchecked, and they've lost faith in the system. So we have to look at that as boy, I don't know what this is saying, as but not pointing to the criminals. Secondly, it seems to be a belief that if these people continue to kill each other, then law enforcement will have dealt with the problem, as eventually they will all die out. But this is not true, because for everyone that dies, 2 young ones are being drawn into that system, so it's time that the police start looking for another solution. Not just the police, all of us have to come together, right? And again, we know this, right? So if a relative of yours is a victim of crime, we've got to get to you quickly so that you don't decide that revenge is the only thing you can do, or that you don't decide that you're going to martyr that person and become just like them. But we don't even know if folks are getting counseling, if anyone ever talks to them after they see their loved one on the floor dead. It's just like, oh, well, kid, good luck to you. And that's it. And then we act surprised when 5-7 years later, they're also out on bail for murder or killed. So, again, it's all of us. And like a previous caller said, the family structure, all of this is playing a role in this. And we're cold, selfish set of people. And at least it's not me. It's not on my street. It's over there. That's their problem. And I can put up more bars and get more alarms and hire a security company to follow me around. And I'll be straight. But... All right, let's see. We're going to squeeze these in really quickly, and then we've got to take a break. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Are you there?
Good morning. Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, you're on the air. Good morning.
Good morning, Dwight. Don't cut me, please. The gentleman called in a while ago. He said something about the media, about politics in the media, right? What is the media? The media is for the state, right? So when he also said something about America, about how the media has a lot of influence on the people or on the electorate, on the voters, meaning that the media has to go there and work and find out what's going on with the people. You understand? Now, what's going on in Freeport? He said some good. He said some good stuff, but you didn't. You got mad, and I guess you said. Don't blame it on the media.
That wasn't all that he said.
We the people need to ask these people how they feel about, the two parties. You understand? So it is the media to go there and find out what's going on with us.
No, that's all they want to talk about, the two parties. That's all they ever want to talk about,
yes,
right?
We have to, because the two parties have been running this country for the last 50 years, and nothing happened.
Okay, so what do you want to talk about them for?
Because it's the media, you guys are for the state.
No, you're not getting my point. So it's time to examine other concepts and look at other options, right? Other ways of governing the country. We have to examine that. And those two groups don't seem to be interested in looking at those other things. That is part of the problem. That's part of the problem. Right? And when options are presented and other styles are presented, and I know it will take time. It will take time. It can't happen over. But even just listening, people seem to get offended. Right? When you mention things like decentralized government and moving towards becoming a republic and becoming a federal republic, people look at you like you're crazy. And then they bring up crazy examples of republics, like that's how all of them are, and it's insane. It's really weird. But think about it. The media has been the place where you hear about those things, but are you paying attention to that? Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Clayton. Good morning, Laverne.
Hi.
The media. I think the media has been doing an excellent job in reference as far as bringing so much awareness to a lot of issues that on the ground in these urban areas, right on. I mean, it inundates you with news, with breaking news, real breaking news, and I commend the media for that. But, we have to be about responsibility, being responsible, and we get into this political discussions to two parties, and emphasis on the two parties who have been in governance for, it's like a back and forth, turn. They take turns. But the alternative, what is the alternative? When you have the leader of a popular alternative party now is going to come to the electorate and it's going to come to the media when interviewed and make a statement in reference to the election yesterday that he encouraged his supporters not to vote in the advance election yesterday because the police are going to carry whatever the boxes and they take instructions from the government. What messages are you sending in that? If you're going to educate your followers or whatever, you do it the right way. You understand? Because the only way you can make a difference is by participating in the process. And and in reference to these persons, who have lost their minds and are going around doing vigilante justice and whatever, because they're at that point of no return, I think there still needs to be, as far as the responsibilities that governments and the systems need to look at as more effective, proactive, not the reactive state, proactive measures as far as counseling, reaching out to these young men in reference to when you have like the anger management. Who do you go to? I know a lady, she called, she said her grandchild was acting up. She's seeing signs of anger in him, right? Not involved in any other negative activity out there, but she tried to reach out to an agency here, and she has yet to get the response from them as to for him to come in to speak to someone in reference to how does he control this before it gets, you understand, before it crosses the line. So we need to take more steps in reference to something like that, trying to avoid these days before it gets to the point of no return. I just wanted to make that comment. You all be safe in these streets too.
Okay, thank you very much. Not too sure why you mentioned the media in relation to the claim that you made about that political organization, because all that's crazy. I didn't hear that, but that's crazy. But okay.
I think she was just using it, just saying that she
the alternatives
is reporting. Yeah, and then she segued into people, whoever being responsible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, with their comment.
Interesting. Okay, let's take a break. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Before we trot down Zion Road, how many more? Sing wayo, 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 wayo. Heavenly Father, won't you hear my plea? Send a happy hand for the country. Man, there's no solution.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
I'm Rita Foley with an AP News Minute. It gets us past the holidays. That temporary government funding package that the House and now the Senate have approved, it's going to President Biden for his signature, and that ends the threat of a government shutdown for the moment. Now to what came out of that meeting yesterday between President Biden and China's Xi Jinping. They agreed, among other things, to reestablish military communications. President Biden.
I think I know the man. I know his modus operandi. We have disagreements. He has a different view than I have on a lot of things, but he's been straight. I don't mean that it's good, bad, or indifferent. It's just been straight.
President Biden yesterday. It may be a sign that the Israelis are about to expand their war with Hamas. Residents say Israeli forces dropped leaflets warning Palestinians to run from parts of southern Gaza. One person arrested last night in Washington at a protest for a ceasefire in the war between Israel and Hamas. I'm Rita Foley.
It is time for your first good traffic for the morning, brought to you by RBC. Get a no-fee RBC loan, plus 5 chances to win up to $5,000. in your real-time traffic this morning. As we've been telling you, the streets are very wet. There's flooding on some of the flood-prone streets, so keep that in mind this morning. And coastal road advisory. If you are along those, keep that in mind. Okay, so Independence Drive, heavy flooding there, and that's causing major delays, especially westbound. In fact, traffic is so bad that it's backed up between the two roundabouts at East Street and Blue Hill Road. If you can avoid Independence Drive, you really should. It is not pretty there, especially, again, westbound traffic this morning. Elsewhere, we've got Milo Butler Highway, heavy traffic from south of the Fire Trail roundabout, straight up to Tonic Williams Darling Highway. And over on Gladstone Road, also busy for you, just north of Fire Trail, straight up to the roundabout with John F. Kennedy Drive, Bahamar Boulevard. A bit of congestion on the JFK side, eastbound along Lake Cunningham at this hour. We also have Prince Charles Drive, heavy traffic at major intersections, especially Beatrice Avenue, and straight through to Robinson Road between Soldier and Old Trail and East-West Highway. Heavy traffic for you westbound. And they're seeing some congestion on Soldier near Bernard, Wolf, and Village near the intersection there. Eastern Road, slow-moving traffic for you westbound from San Souci straight up to Johnson Road. Those are your hot spots right now. That's your real-time traffic and your morning blend traffic alert brought to you by RBC. Learn more at rbc.com/Caribbean/Christmas Cash. .54 and time for another check of your weather. A lot going on weather-wise. We've got a low-pressure system moving across the extreme northwest Bahamas, combined with a frontal boundary that's going to produce unsettled weather over the islands through tonight, while a tight pressure gradient north of the front will continue to generate strong to gale-force winds and hazardous boating and beaching conditions. Again, a gale warning is in effect for the entire northwest Bahamas until this afternoon, and mariners and small craft operators should remain in port. Beachgoers should stay out of the water, stay on shore due to the treacherous high seas, rough surf, and dangerous rip currents. And again, motorists and pedestrians along coastal roads should exercise extreme caution due to overtopping waves and sea spray. There's also risk of tornado activity and water spouts, and flooding is possible in low-lying or flood-prone areas during heavy and or prolonged rainfall. So for today, for the northwest and central Bahamas, your forecast, cloudy to overcast and very windy with widespread rain, showers, and isolated thunderstorms through tonight. Showers may be heavy and thunderstorms strong to severe at times. Small craft operators should remain in port. For the southeast Bahamas, small craft advisory remains in effect, mostly cloudy and breezy with isolated showers through tonight. Temperature-wise today, look for highs getting up to around 81 Fahrenheit, 27 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 72 Fahrenheit, 22 Celsius. In your extended outlook, for the next couple of days, the low-pressure system will continue to move away. That's going to drag a cold front across the northwest Bahamas on Friday, and the frontal boundary will move into the central islands by Saturday. The front's then expected to merge with another low-pressure system in the Caribbean Sea, and that's going to slide across the southern islands on Saturday, producing more unsettled weather. Strong to near gale-force winds and dangerous seas will continue. Boaters in the central and southeast Bahamas will be advised to remain near port on Friday and in port on Saturday. So, still in for rough weather, folks. So, Friday, partly cloudy and breezy with scattered showers and thunderstorms. Saturday, variably cloudy and breezy with isolated showers and thunderstorms. For the northwest Bahamas, cloudy to overcast and very breezy with widespread showers and thunderstorms in the central and southeast Bahamas. We'll take a closer look at the tropics in our next weather check after the 8 o'clock news. This weather check brought to you by Easy Car Sales. Feel the power of the electric revolution. Swing by Easy Car Sales for a test drive in an electric vehicle. It's a ride you won't forget, and you'll be entered for a great time. Visit easy242.com and see where an electric future can take you.
It's a Christmas wish for all of you. Get a no-fee loan from RBC. It's true.
This Christmas, your wish could come true with a no-fee loan from RBC. You'll have 5 chances to win up to $5,000 Christmas cash.
It's a Christmas wish for all of you. Get a no-fee loan from RBC. It's true.
Learn more at rbc.com/Caribbean/Christmas cash. Subject to normal lending criteria. Conditions apply.
At Wendy's, we are different. We don't just use beef. It's fresh, never frozen. Our burgers are square because we never cut corners. Served hot off the grill with fresh lettuce, tomatoes, onions, and American cheese. We believe in fast food done right. Always serving fresh, never frozen beef. Order a hot, juicy Dave single, double, or triple. Made with fresh, never frozen beef. Now only at Wendy's. Different inside and out.
Flying into Grand Bahama and need a reliable rental vehicle? Whether it's an economy, mid-size, full-size, SUV, truck, or 7-passenger van. Call 351-5737 for KSR Rent-A-Car. KSR Rent-A-Car's friendly staff offers the best in customer service with well-maintained, reliable vehicles since 1994. Drive happy while you're in Grand Bahama in a KSR Rent-A-Car. Call 351-5737 for unlimited mileage, and all vehicles are air-conditioned and automatic, with free pickup and drop-off. Restrictions apply. Be comfortable, safe, and reliable in a KSR Rent-A-Car.
What would you do with extra cash? Plan a trip.
Overhaul my wardrobe.
With CIBC First Caribbean, you can get comfy with savings on your mortgage cost. Buy or build your home or switch your mortgage to us and get up to US $1,000 off the loan application fee. Up to US $2,000 off home insurance. With up to US $10,000 towards switching cost, your pockets will be comfy too. Visit CIBCFCIB.com/get comfy for more information. Conditions apply.
Sing whoa. Hear my plea, oh dear. A song for life.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for your smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at Morning Blend 969 or Facebook.com/MorningBlend969. Text us on the Guardian Radio text line powered by BTC 422-4796. And now at 8:19, time for another check of your weather for today. We've got a lot going on weather-wise, so here we go. We've got a low-pressure system that's moving across the extreme northwest Bahamas and combined with a frontal boundary that's going to produce more of the unsettled weather we've been seeing for the past couple of days across the whole country through tonight, while a tight pressure gradient north of the front will continue to generate strong to gale force winds and hazardous beaching and boating conditions. So, a gale warning is still in effect for the entire northwest Bahamas. It will continue until this afternoon. And boaters and small craft operators should remain in port, and beachgoers are advised to remain onshore due to treacherous high seas, so onshore and out of the water. High seas, rough surf, and dangerous rip currents expected. Motorists and pedestrians should also exercise extreme caution while along coastal roads due to overtopping waves and sea spray. And there is a risk for waterspout or tornado activity and flooding in low-lying and flood-prone areas due to heavy and prolonged rainfall events. So, for today, for the northwest and central Bahamas, cloudy to overcast and very windy with widespread rain, showers and isolated thunderstorms through tonight. Showers may be heavy and thunderstorms strong to severe at times. Small craft operators should remain in port. For the southeast Bahamas, mostly cloudy and breezy with isolated showers through tonight. Small craft advisory remains in effect. Temperatures today, highs getting up to around 81 Fahrenheit, 27 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down about 72 Fahrenheit, 22 Celsius. In your extended outlook for the next couple of days, the high-pressure system will continue to move away while dragging a cold front across the northwest Bahamas on Friday. The frontal boundary will then move into the central Bahamas on Saturday, and the front is then expected to merge with another low-pressure system in the Caribbean Sea. That's going to slide across the southern islands on Saturday, producing unsettled weather. Strong to near gale force winds and dangerous seas. Boaters in the central and southeast Bahamas should remain near port on Friday and in port on Saturday. So for tomorrow, Friday, partly cloudy and breezy with scattered showers and thunderstorms. Saturday, variably cloudy and breezy with isolated showers and thunderstorms for the northwest Bahamas. Cloudy to overcast and very breezy with widespread showers and thunderstorms in the central and southeast Bahamas. In the tropics, okay, so we've been telling you about this low-pressure system, that non-tropical area of low pressure near southern Florida and the Bahamas, along with the frontal boundaries, forecast to move quickly northeastwards across the Bahamas and offshore of the east coast of the U.S. through the weekend. The system is expected to produce gusty winds and heavy rains across the northwest and central Bahamas during the next couple of days, and it has about a 10% chance for formation into a tropical system over the next 7 days. Then there's the other thing we're keeping our eyes on. Disorganized showers and thunderstorms persist in association with a trough of low pressure in the southwestern Caribbean Sea. Environmental conditions are marginally conducive for development of this system, and a tropical depression could form by this weekend while moving northeastwards across the western and central portions of the Caribbean Sea. As a result of this, interests in the southeast Bahamas and Turks and Caicos should monitor the progress of the system. It has about a 50% chance of tropical cyclone formation during the next 7 days. We're still in the hurricane season, folks, and still need to keep our eyes on the tropics. We'll keep you posted and updated on all of this, but we've got some challenging conditions ahead for us for the next couple of days. That's your Morning Blend weather check. And it's time for another check of your traffic for this morning, brought to you by RBC. Get a no-fee RBC loan plus 5 chances to win up to $5,000. So, in your traffic for today, again, a number of the streets are flooded, and that's causing some issues, and we're expecting more rain. So, keep that in mind today as you make your way about. So, we're seeing major issues on Independence Drive. That is flooded really badly, and that's impacting traffic in both directions, especially westbound. Again, if you can avoid Independence Drive, don't go there, especially westbound. Try Robinson Road, try even Soldier Road if you're trying to get west. Anything but Independence Drive. It is a mess and not getting better. Eastbound, also seeing some heavy traffic. Blue Hill Road is congested north of the roundabout with Independence Drive near Robinson Road and on the way to Cordo Avenue. That's northbound this morning. Wolf Road, that's another alternate route, I guess, for Independence Drive. If you're heading westbound, it's busy, though. Keep that in mind. East and westbound if you are west of Marathon. and east of Blue Hill Road. That's looking congested for you. Then we've got Milo Butler Highway, as usual, heavy traffic well south of the Fire Trail roundabout, straight up to the roundabout with Tony Williams-Darling Highway. Heavy traffic eastbound on Tony Williams-Darling Highway toward that roundabout. Six-legged roundabout also seeing issues. Eastbound on JFK Drive, southbound on New Providence Highway, and exiting onto University Drive, seeing heavy traffic there. And portions of the northwestbound traffic on University Drive also seeing issues this morning. Gladstone Road, busy for you, northbound on the way to the roundabout with Bahamar Boulevard and John F. Kennedy Drive, and a bit of congestion for you eastbound along Lake Cunningham on JFK. If you're on West Bay Street, heavy traffic for you near Saunders Beach as you approach the roundabout with New Providence Highway, and eastbound toward Arawak Key into downtown. Also busy for you this morning. That's what we're looking at. That's your real-time traffic and your Morning Blend traffic alert, brought to you by RBC. Learn more at rbc.com/Caribbean/Christmas cash.
Straight and script full non-stop. Hey! Straight and script. D-Max style. Oh, yeah. I see you coming from a mile away, girl. I see ya coming. Girl, I see ya. Hey! She says she's a real good girl. She only goes to church then home. I say I'm a real good guy like Rick and Script. I stay in my zone. She says she don't party hard. I tell her I'm a partier. She tell me she ain't no cutter, but she'll go out with me. She say that she drinks collects, but only 3, and then she's done. I tell her
We're back here with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with Laverne Gardner. Coming up in a few minutes, we're going to be talking with Doctors Hospital about the relaunch of Doctors Hospital West on Blake Road. We'll get details about that in just a bit. And later in business, it is part 4 of our special series with Deltec Bank and the DIYE, Deltec Initiative for Young Entrepreneurs. We're meeting another one of the finalists in that exciting program this morning. All straight ahead. But we continue right now talking about what's in the news. Okay, so we confirmed it yesterday, and so we're all processing this, the resignation of the executive chairman of the Water and Sewage Corporation, Sylvanus Petty. The Office of the Prime Minister finally confirming yesterday what had been rumored for more than a day, that the Prime Minister had requested Petty's resignation. So that's confirmed. The North Luther MP resigned as executive chairman after the revelation, almost a week now, that his daughter has a contract with the corporation. So the Office of the Prime Minister confirmed in a statement saying that, quote, the Prime Minister has requested and accepted the resignation of Sylvanus Petty. I keep pronouncing that a different way every time. I don't know how to pronounce. Do you know, Laverne? Have you any idea how to say that? Is it Sylvanus? What? Anyway, as executive chairman of Water and Sewage Corporation.
I thought it was Sylvanus.
Oh, yeah? Okay. Acting Prime Minister Chester Cooper accepted the resignation on behalf of the Prime Minister. We thank Mr. Petty for his service. The deputy chairman will serve as acting executive chairman. Okay, so Petty has been unreachable for comment over the past 2 days, but he did post a quote from the Bible on Facebook. Yep, that's from Galatians chapter 6, verse 9. And let us not be weary in well-doing, for in due season we shall reap if we faint not. Now, Petty, a licensed electrician and businessman, was appointed executive chairman in December 2021. He's also the deputy speaker of the House. Earlier in the week, the Prime Minister indicated to reporters that Petty's daughter's contract would also be canceled. $26,000 contract. Okay. All right, so you all recall, yes, last week during the corruption trial of former executive chairman Adrian Gibson, Opposition is something else. Eh? Petty, who appeared as the first witness for the prosecution, was asked if his views on awarding contracts to relatives, and he said he didn't have a problem with it, it's a small country, nepotism. Paraphrasing a lot here. What's the big deal? All right, so let's talk about it. What do you make of it? I do want to know though. What is the reason he was asked to resign? Is it because of the contract? Is it because of his views on nepotism and he doesn't see the big deal? What was the real reason? Or because it was optics? Do we deserve to know what it was that caused it? Because people are saying there were some other things that some other cabinet ministers did and other people with positions, and they didn't get fired. So what was it exactly that was the big problem here? Or was it everything?
Maybe it was everything. Maybe it was a bit of everything. And whether other cabinet ministers did things and got away with it, it's never too late to do the right thing, right? And we tend to use that a lot. That's my biggest issue with when situations like this happen. The response is always, oh, so-and-so did this or so-and-so did worse. Okay. But we're addressing this. And if this is wrong, this is not what you're supposed to do. Let's start with that rather than deflecting. We do that a lot. Initially, it's like even when the story first came out, one of the responses, I will say the leading response that we got from the Prime Minister, well, that was on the news because maybe it was just the way the clip was, right? So I'll say that. Maybe that's the way it presented it. When it came up, statement was the Free National Movement does not have any moral ground. No, let's not lead with that. Let's lead with we're going to investigate this, and if this is the case, then whatever, we're going to do the right thing or what we deem to be right, because we hold ourselves to a particular standard, or we should be holding ourselves to a particular standard.
Okay, so, but he says that he didn't know that his daughter had the contract. And because these ones don't come to the board, so
you don't know, like you don't know your daughter has a contract. Okay, I find that hard to believe. It could be possible, but I find that hard to believe. I'm not just talking about even as his position. Like what kind of relationship? He wouldn't know that his daughter has a contract. That wouldn't even come up in casual conversation.
Although upon further questioning from Damon Gomez, KC, Petty said he was aware that his daughter had a contract.
So he was aware. Right. I mean, and to say that you didn't know, I find that hard to believe.
Okay, so listen to this. This is very strange. Upon further questioning from Gomez, Petty said he is aware that his daughter has a contract with WSC. Gomez asked if Petty is aware that the contract is valued at $26,000. Then he said, quote, I don't know. Those smaller contracts never come to my desk or the board.
Well, maybe his I don't know was that he didn't know the value of the contract, not that she did not have a contract. Clearly, he didn't. He had already said that he doesn't have a problem with it. So if he's saying that he doesn't have a problem with
Okay, we're going to have to get our next guest to mute his mic there. Go on, Laverne. Did we mute Laverne as well?
Yeah, I just had to unmute. Right. You knew your daughter had a contract. It didn't matter to you because you said that these things, you don't see anything wrong with it. You already said that. You said, I don't see anything wrong with it. So if your daughter had a contract, you weren't concerned with the amount. You weren't concerned that she had a contract and how it would look because, and again, I'm paraphrasing, this is a small country, everybody related.
Yeah, so the whole thing just looks messy, and so let's get away from this.
It is messy.
Okay, let's get your reaction to it really quickly, folks. We don't have too much time on it, but give us a call really quickly, 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259, toll-free 242-300-5720. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. Okay, let's see what these callers are saying. Good morning. You're on the air.
Morning, Dwight and Laverne again. This is the GNN.
Good morning.
Morning. Listen, at first, let's take it for what he is. Once a man says we got to take him at his word. You're innocent until proven guilty. He first said, I don't know because this didn't come to me. Okay, we accept that. When it was found out, he knew. But I think what really sank his ship was the fact that he he said that it doesn't matter. All of us is family. All of us is one, and he ain't got no problem with giving family members and stuff like that a contract. I think that's where he erred, because in Parliament there are rules and certain protocols that one has to follow in order to achieve or to attain something like that. So I think that's where he erred by saying, I ain't know, and then turning around and saying, I ain't got no problem with it. Thanks for taking my call.
Okay, all right. I really do still think I would like a detailed, just bullet points from the Prime Minister or the Office of the Prime Minister, just saying the reason is, 1, because of this, number 2, because of that, number 3, because of this. And we want to send a message to all MPs and cabinet ministers, anybody who's politically appointed, that this is not going to be tolerated by this administration, hopefully any government of the Bahamas going forward, right? Let's not have any ambiguity here. Tell us, let everyone know. If you have no issue with nepotism, we are going to have an issue. Is that it? Say it, right? If you have family members who have contracts and you're aware and you haven't told us, we can't abide by this and you got to go, right? So let us know exactly what it is. Spell it out.
That's not going to happen, Dwight.
Why not? We have to demand it. Demand it. Do you want it to happen?
We're not going to get a bullet point of exactly why.
Would you like that, Laverne? Would you like it?
What we're going to get? Sure.
Yeah, okay, well,
but what
let's
we're going to
demand
get is a response like we did it, because the response will probably be more like this. We deal with stuff like this. Unlike the previous government, we handle these kinds of situations.
Right.
When things come to our attention, we do this, not because the previous government, they didn't do so.
Oh,
that's the kind of responses that we get.
Yes, well, if we accept it. Right. But you're right. That's
whether
more likely.
We accept it or not, that's what's coming out first.
Let's demand it. Let's demand it. Let's demand it. Let's take this question.
I'm with you.
Really quickly. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Hey, good morning, Dwight.
Hi.
And good morning to your guest.
Good morning.
Good morning, lady. Listen, what I would like to see is that a question put out in the House or on the floor to all members of Parliament, asking who have a problem or who don't have a problem with that. Because I think that there will show you who is behind the scenes doing what as we speak.
We should know this for anybody running for office. That question needs to come up. What do you feel about nepotism? What do you feel about this issue? We need. We don't know these people before they end up in the House. We don't know them.
Thank you. So now that they're already in there, let's just ask the question and see who says what, and then you would get a general idea as to what's going on. Because I'm pretty sure there's a lot others that's doing it. You just don't find out about it. But I think that question needs to be put on the floor. The speaker should be in charge of that question. She herself also needs to answer that same question.
Wow, okay.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Somebody's texting saying, we need to ask them, do you have an issue with bribery? Do you have an issue with receiving gifts from people?
When they say yes, they do.
Or that they have no issue with it. I don't see what the big deal is. You know?
Well, listen, my point is after this situation with Mr. Petty, Member of Parliament for North and Luther, who's going to say, I don't see a problem with it?
You'd be surprised.
Oh, no, I'm totally
You'd be surprised.
I don't subscribe to that.
It depends on how big the bribe is, but not for little things.
Everybody's going to say they have a problem with it when you are.
Oh, boy. So it says, ask them, do they have an issue with victimization? Depends on the party. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight. Good morning, Laverne.
Hi.
Good morning.
Well, let's put it like this. All of this stuff is already guidelines, or before you even try to nominate for office. And these are things that have these questions been placed to these persons who have applied to go into office. All this information should have already been known by now. And Laverne, you are absolutely correct in your statement. The feeling and suspicion is that there are many other parliamentarians who are in similar positions, but they are unknown. We have seen the same thing take place with other prior administrations, and it always seems to come out when controversy comes up. We just had two major ones just happen recently, and it seems as if right now, we have one right now where we still have MPs who haven't even disclosed, which is a violation of Parliament and of the law, because they're supposed to be penalized by being fined or even imprisoned. And that hasn't even been taken care of yet. So that only goes to show you what's really going on. You don't find out these things until a major catastrophe or a major controversy comes up, and all the truth begins to roll out. We have to do a much better job in fixing our Parliament in particular before we fix any other government agency. Because the Parliament, they're responsible for laying the laws out, and if the law makers are the major law breakers, then how are we supposed to fix the country? Wow. Thanks for taking my call this morning.
Oh, boy. Okay, one final call on this. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Okay, no. All right, let me read these messages, and then we'll go to the break. This person says here, I love how Petty had to resign over something petty, but Keith Bell and the Prime Minister of Abaco are still present in their seats. Interesting. Well, in their positions, you mean. The Prime Minister of Abaco had to resign. Remember, he is.
Yes, he did resign.
Mm-hmm.
He's still the
MP.
Parliament.
Yes,
and so is Mr. Petty.
That's right, and still Deputy Speaker. Mm-hmm.
Right.
All right.
So that's only 2 salaries as opposed to 3. Asking a question.
Wow. It was the optics. They are in court charging Gibson, but here the prosecution witness is guilty of doing some of the things Gibson's charged with. Okay. Just because resignations may not have occurred in previous incidents of ignorance of parliamentary and conflict of interest, shouldn't that also suggest no resignation should occur here? Just because they haven't. Well, I'm sure some are asking that question. Yeah. Why is it so difficult?
It's a good place to start. Let's start. Well, it's a good place to start. It's never too late to do the right thing.
Why is it so difficult to understand why Petty was asked to resign? It was a clear conflict of interest, and he didn't seem to care. And it is disappointing that so many of us don't seem to even understand what a conflict of interest is. The issue is not whether someone is qualified or not. The issue arises when certain people have greater access to organizational gatekeepers due to personal relationships. Yes. They're calling off all the people who should resign as well. There's a lot of people. Okay. As usual, the media said Petty is unreachable. The man lose his government job before Christmas, and he's shame. And you all think he should be reachable? Okay.
I think the media says that because they want people to know that they have attempted to reach them and they were unsuccessful in reaching whomever it was.
This person says if there is another corporation where nepotism reigns supreme, it needs to stop. Well, yeah, which one is that?
Okay, we have evidence. Let's keep the ball rolling now.
Could be all, knowing us. But anyway, a family member should get a contract, but not under your ministry. Only elected MPs have to disclose a contract, not a family member. That's not true. Your family has to disclose things too. Mm-hmm. The MP needs approval by Parliament. What? What? Who? What? Did someone get? What? Didn't someone get basketball tickets at courtside at FTX? What's the difference here? Do you think the by-election of West Grand Bahama is a catalyst for the government suddenly deciding to fight corruption? It's quite a coincidence that the timing just happens to benefit their image right now when they are having so much negative press. Okay. This one says, I totally agree with your co-host about reflecting that was reflecting what? I think Petty was asked to resign mainly for the optics, but also for the totality of the situation. Other public figures got away with similar because they didn't get caught and they didn't opine on it in court. If he had said, I'd see a problem as long as they are qualified and the tender process was followed, then he would have likely been excused. Okay. Interesting. Okay, we're going to leave that there. We got to move on. We'll see if we get get a firmer statement from the Office of the Prime Minister anytime soon. But again, I won't hold my breath, as Laverne is saying. But anyway, we got to take a break. We'll be back. This is Morning Blend on a Thursday morning here on Guardian Radio 96.9.
D-Max style. Oh, yeah. I see you coming from a mile away, girl. I see ya coming. Girl, I see ya. Hey, she says she's a real good girl. She only goes to church then home. I say I'm a real good guy, like record script. I stay in my zone. She says she don't party hard. I tell her I'm a party.
It's been 35 years since Custom Computers was founded, and we'd like to celebrate that milestone by thanking you, our clients and customers. You've inspired 35 years of expert service and support, partnering with the world's leading brands like HP, Apple, and Microsoft. We take pride in setting the bar for what you expect and deserve from a homegrown Bahamian business. We're here to serve you when you need us. So call 396-1101. Custom Computers, raising the standard since 1987.
Celebrate the holidays in style with Nassau Tiles Holiday Sale from November 22nd to 29th. Save up to 25% off select porcelain tiles, up to 30% off ceramic tiles, and 20% off store-wide on all tiles, thin set, grout, and mosaics. Our dedicated tile experts will guide you in choosing the right tile for your floor, wall, indoor, or outdoor space. Visit the Nassau Tile Showroom today at number 43 Doswell Street, or call our tile experts at 322-2100 to make your dream space a reality.
When faced with an illness like cancer, we band together, and we at Cleveland Clinic in Florida have your back. From advanced cancer treatments to extra safety measures at all of our locations, we're with you on this journey. For every infusion and follow-up, for every step of the way, for every care in the world. Cleveland Clinic in Florida. Get the care you need when and where you need it. To learn more or connect with a local representative, visit clevelandclinic.org/Caribbean.
Go CIBC First Caribbean. We help you
to get what you want this year. Spin the wheel of wishes. With a trip for two to Miami. Spin the wheel of wishes. You can win loads of cash for Christmas. CIBC First Caribbean.
Win with your approved loan. Visit CIBC-FCIB/Wheel of Wishes for more information. Conditions apply.
At Kalina, we want to be a part of your journey. Come, share your dreams and goals with us. Whether you're getting married, planning for that new home, switching careers, counting down to retirement, or simply wanting more confidence for life, we are here to listen. Let's plan for tomorrow, today. No pressure. Just a chat between friends. Visit Kalina.com and connect with an agent today. We are waiting to hear your story.
There's a new electric vehicle in town. The Jack brand of SUVs, trucks, sedans, and commercial vans, available only at Easy Car Sales, home of the fully electric vehicle. For a powerful, smooth ride at a fraction of the cost to drive, leave the pump behind and hit the road with Jack. Visit easy242.com to see our brand new Jack models and drop into Easy Car Sales for a test drive. It'll have you singing. Hit the road with Jack, and don't you pump gas no more.
Get ready to jingle all the way to Christmas with Fidelity's festive giveaway, with over $10,000 in cash and prizes up for grabs. Apply for a loan or open an ASU savings account for a chance to win big. Visit any of our branches for more details. Terms and conditions apply.
Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Street, has those hard-to-find fasteners for you right now. You can find stainless steel regular hex, carriage bolts, galvanized bolts, threaded rods, nails, self-tap screws, sex bolts, anchor bolts, turnbuckles, masonry tools, hand tools, and weed whacker strings. Check out the rope selection and car body fasteners, too. Special orders are welcome. It's your #1 fastener store. Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Streets. Call 326-1976.
It's a Christmas wish for all of you. Get a no-fee loan from RBC. It's true.
This Christmas, your wish could come true with a no-fee loan from RBC. You have 5 chances to win up to $5,000 Christmas cash.
It's a Christmas wish for all of you. Get a no-fee loan from RBC. It's true.
Learn more at rbc.com/Caribbean/Christmas cash. Subject to normal lending criteria. Conditions apply.
Looking for the ultimate getaway with luxurious rooms for tranquility and relaxation with friendly customer service plus high-speed internet? Look no further. Old Bahama Bay Accommodations in West End, Grand Bahama offers adjoining ocean view rooms perfect for families with modern West Indian colonial furnishings or elegant suites exquisitely designed for the most discriminating guest. At Old Bahama Bay, you can enjoy the amazing beach, water sports, the pool, and so much more. Or cycle around the historical village of West End. For more information, click on oldbahamabayresorts.com or call 242-602-5170 or 242-602-5171. For the ultimate getaway, just a short flight or boat ride away. Old Bahama Bay, Bayshore Road, West End, Grand Bahama.
Doctors Hospital has reimagined primary care. We have invested to improve our health system, ensuring that accessible, affordable, world-class clinical care is closer to you. We understand that your relationship with a primary care provider shapes the foundation of your overall health. Our new modern primary care facilities are where critical diagnoses and true personalized treatment begins. With locations across New Providence, Grand Bahama, and Exuma, we invite you to experience the Doctors Hospital difference. Book your next appointment at clinics.doctorshosp.com.
Ciao! Fidelity can on this year with their new festive giveaway. You could win cash, an iPhone 15, get a bill paid off, PS5, all kind of things. Apply for a loan or an ASUS savings account, and you could win. Try our call them now, yeah? 356-7764.
Let me ask you a few questions. What's your name?
Pam.
Favorite food?
Steak.
Beer or wine?
Wine.
Is your money safe?
It's under my bed, so I guess so.
Are you serious?
Yeah, why?
Unless your money is in a bank or credit union that's a member of the Deposit Insurance Corporation, there's no guarantee it's safe.
Yeah, but what if something happens to the bank?
Your Bahamian dollar deposits are insured up to $50,000, so you'd still be ahead. Plus, your mattress might catch fire. Then what?
Man, those banks and credit unions are looking good right about now.
Visit the DIC's website at www.dic.bs. Protection for your money, guaranteed with DIC.
Take some advice from your Aunt Angie. If you're going to invest in an exotic pet, choose anything but a Norwegian forest cat. Apparently, they will eat all your jewelry. Before you know it, you're racing to the vet when your cat escapes from his carrier and lunges for your earrings. You crash and your cat swallows your pearls. But if you're smart, you'll have CG Motor Insurance and get the best comprehensive coverage for the price.
Get the best comprehensive coverage for the price. CG Atlantic Insurance Agents and Brokers. Good like that. All benefits are subject to policy provisions, including eligibility at the time of service.
What would you do with extra cash? Plan a trip.
Overhaul my wardrobe.
With CIBC First Caribbean, you can get comfy with savings on your mortgage cost. Buy or build your home or switch your mortgage to us and get up to US $1,000 off the loan application fee. Up to US $2,000 off home insurance. With up to US $10,000 towards switching cost, your pockets will be comfy too. Visit CIBCFCIB.com/get comfy for more information. Conditions apply.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
I answer for much, I just want enough. Oh darling, keep looking, peeping until I see stop. I answer for too much, oh girl, I just want enough. Oh darling, keep looking.
We are back here with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with Laverne Gardner. Okay, so we're changing gears. Doctors Hospital West wants to reintroduce themselves. Here to tell us about this, we're very pleased to welcome back to the show Alexis Burrows. Alexis, good morning. Great to have you with us as always.
Morning, Dwight. Morning, Bahamas. It's great to be on.
Okay, so what does this mean? Reintroduce ourselves. Tell us about this campaign. Why?
So I'm sure, as a lot of Bahamians may remember, the Doctors Hospital West location was location that we had used in conjunction with the government of the Bahamas in the treatment of COVID during the pandemic, as well as being a buffer for the Princess Margaret Hospital when they were going through renovations earlier this year. So we've since done a number of renovations and improvements at the location all in preparation for reopening to the public, primarily as an urgent care center. So what that means is things you would normally just kind of walk in for. So if you have a really bad cold or flu, you have a stomach bug, something that might typically take you to an emergency room. This is the type of care that we're offering as the primary service at Doctors Hospital West. And one of the beautiful things about the facility is we're open late. So we're the only urgent care facility in the western part of the island that's open until 11. So, even if you have something that's happening later into the evening, you have the ability to pop into Doctors Hospital West rather than having to come all the way uptown to the Collins Avenue facility. So urgent care is kind of the main thing that we are offering at the location, but it's not the only thing. So similarly, we're offering specialist visits at Doctors Hospital West. So right now we have specialist visits available in dermatology, sports medicine, pediatrics, and psychiatry. So dermatology and sports medicine are actually two new service offerings that are in the health system. We've just launched both of those within the past month. So those are two of the specialists that you can visit out at the facility. Additionally, we have lab services and imaging service offered at this location. So like I said, the big thing about it is the urgent care and that those late hours. So we're open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 11 p.m., and then weekends and holidays from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Okay, all right. So it's not going to be a place where somebody is going to be staying overnight.
Not at this stage.
Mm-hmm.
So we are, as you'll be familiar, we're always thinking ahead as to what we're doing in a particular location or what we're looking to do to expand the health system. So services for admission is something that we're looking at as a potential future expansion of the service at this facility. But that's not what we're offering at this time. And for anybody who would be concerned, if you do come out to that facility for an urgent care visit and it's determined that you need to go into the emergency room or be admitted, we do have an ambulance service that's going to be available, an ambulance actually stationed at that facility to ensure quick transfers from Doctors Hospital West up to the main campus should that be necessary.
Okay, so if you have an emergency, Doctors Hospital West is closest. If an ambulance comes for you, will they take you there, or will that depend on what your issue is?
So it depends on the nature of your circumstance, right? If it requires the ambulance, so urgent care is basically anything that's up to non-life threatening. So if you think about if you're in a really bad car accident, that's the emergency room. Mm-hmm. If you have a simple break, bone break, things like that, we're able to treat it at this facility. Again, if you have things like, a really bad flu, a stomach bug, things like that, where, you would normally just be able to kind of walk right in, or depending on the time of the day, you might have to go up to an emergency room to get it sorted out. You'd be able to come to this facility in order to do so. So anything that's non-life threatening, you would be able to come to Doctors Hospital West to have treated. But once you get into that space where it's something that's potentially life threatening, that requires the room.
Okay, all right. So let's get a little deeper into the specialist care that you mentioned, the dermatology and sports medicine and psychiatry, pediatrics. Let's talk about that and what the differences is going to make having this in Western New Providence.
Right. So, obviously we're in a much more competitive space when it comes to the dermatology, particularly as you look at the landscape on the western side of the island. But, what we're looking at doing and we're in the process of doing is actually partnering with some of the non-clinical people who offer like esthetician services, things like that. Because you'll find that, you ladies would know this. If you go to your esthetician and they see something that's a little bit beyond their scope, they'd want to refer you to a dermatologist. So, we're looking to ensure that we bolster relationships in those sort of spaces as well, so that people are familiar and able to come out to that facility and visit with Dr. Johnson, who we recently added to our team to offer this service. So that would be Dr. Armanda Johnson, who, we would have promoted as joining the facility and the Doctors Hospital family in the past few weeks. Similarly with sports medicine, so that program is run by Dr. Kent Bazard, and that's in tandem with our rehabilitation department. So we would have actually done a few conversations with him around about in the last few weeks talking about this program and what it means potentially for both, professional and amateur athletes and the potential that it has in, ensuring that our athletes, especially when they're looking at ones who may have the potential for, international competition and things like that, are able to get access to the right type of treatment and the ability to have a better understanding of how their body works, how it functions, the ways that they can do rehab, prehab, and all the way through the process. And like I said, it's, obviously because we have, the Buddy Heels and the Jazz Chisholms of the world that are out there, we tend to have a conversation about the professional side, but it's also going to be helpful for our amateur athletes. And even just, for you and I who may want to be able to get more out of our exercise routine, out of the ways that we want to stay healthy and fit, there's also going to be space for operating in that regard. So, if you have a troublesome knee, but you want to know how best you can exercise and keep your cardio going, this would be a place where you'd be able to engage. And like I said, we're offering those specialist visits out at Doctors Hospital West. And we actually opened November 6th. So these are open and available for booking as we speak.
Okay. All right. Excellent. Tell us more about that, how that's going to work. So you just are an athlete and you feel you need to really be in tip-top shape. You just come in and you start a regular relationship, or how will that go?
So similarly to the dermatology program, right? We're also looking at building relationships in the sporting community. So, there's a lot of different track clubs, and obviously you have the high schools with their sports programs. So our intention is to actually engage at that level as well. So if you're in a training program and the person who's leading that program has interest in kind of expanding and getting, educated to a greater degree as to how they can assist with, preparation, training, rehab from injury, that sort of thing, then we're putting ourselves in that space. Obviously, as an individual, you have the opportunity to reach out and book an appointment to kind of start that conversation about, your training regimen, or if you have an injury and you want to get, some information about what you can do for rehab, how you can strengthen post-injury. All of that is available through the sports medicine program here at Doctors Hospital.
Okay, wonderful. All right, so let's talk about the lab services and imaging. You still will need to be referred by a doctor to get the labs?
So you would still need to have a requisition for your lab or your imaging service. There's no way around that. But we are offering any laboratory services that you need are available up to 11 p.m. And we'll also have on-call services even after that 11 p.m. hours. So the intention here is to be as accessible as possible, like I said, for the West and the Southwestern communities. For imaging at this time, we're offering CT scans and X-rays. We're looking at adding ultrasound to that service as well in the near future. But those would be the two primary scans you can get done out at the facility out at West.
Okay. All right. Wow. And again, just the need. What have you been noticing? I'm sure you did your research. What have you been noticing about what's happening and the growth in Western New Providence and why this was so necessary?
Right. So obviously, we know that there are a number of communities that already exist in the west and southwestern part of New Providence, and there's also communities going up. Every time you look around, and one of the things that we've noted is that lack of a late hour urgent care facility in that space. So you imagine, you have something where it doesn't necessarily require the emergency room, but if it's 9, 10 o'clock, there's nothing on that side of the island that's offering urgent care in that space. So you would have to drive all the way up into the heart of New Providence into Collins Avenue to go to the emergency room. So what we're looking to do is, cut that down and have people in those communities be able to access that urgent care service into the late evening and night hours near to their home, so they don't have to make that journey all the way up. And then especially if it's something where it's borderline, where you're not sure if it's urgent care or the emergency room or admission, being able to quickly get into an environment where you can be assessed and then that determination can be made, is also helpful. So, the idea is that this is a need that definitely exists in that space, especially as the West continues to grow and there's more people moving into the West, more communities building up. That there needs to be a service like this that exists into the late night hours. And obviously our intention over time is to eventually turn this into a 24-hour facility, including the urgent care services as well.
Okay, wow. And you say it's open now.
So we're open now. We opened on November 6th, and our operational hours are 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. from Monday to Friday. And on weekends and holidays, we're open from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. The phone number for anyone that's interested is 302-4710. And if you want to book one of our specialist clinic visits, you can visit x.doctorshosp.com. And all the information, the office hours, and the booking information is available on that website.
Okay. Always exciting things going on at Doctors Hospital. Alexis Burrows, thank you so much for talking with us this morning. Right there on Blake Road, right? Doctors Hospital West.
Yes, right on Blake Road.
Okay. Thanks again. Appreciate it.
All right, take care.
All right, we're going to take a break for news and be back with Morning Blend Business in just a bit. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
I am for much. I just want it now. Oh, darling, keep looking, peeping until I see stop. I answer for too much. Oh, girl, I just want it now. Oh, darling, keep looking, peeping, looking until I see stop.
Celebrate the holidays in style with Nassau Tiles holiday sale from November 22nd to 29th. Save up to 25% off select porcelain tiles, up to 30% off ceramic tiles, and 20% off store-wide on all tiles, thin set, grout, and mosaics. Our dedicated tile experts will guide you in choosing the right tile for your floor, wall, indoor, or outdoor space. Visit the Nassau Tile showroom today at number 43 Doswell Street or call our tile experts at 322-2100 to make your dream space a reality.
There's a new electric vehicle in town, the Jack brand of SUVs, trucks, sedans, and commercial vans, available only at Easy Car Sales, home of the fully electric vehicle. For a powerful, smooth ride at a fraction of the cost to drive, leave the pump behind and hit the road with Jack. Visit easy242.com to see our brand new Jack models and drop into Easy Car Sales for a test drive. It'll have you singing. Hit the road with Jack, and don't you pump gas no more.
Win a vacation for two to Sandals Resort in Jamaica using your RBC Visa credit card in the RBC Gift Yourself the Ultimate Getaway promotion. Just spend $1,500 or local equivalent. Promotion ends on December 18, 2023. Visit rbcultimategetaway.com for more details.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
The views and opinions of the host and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning and welcome to Morning Blend Business on this Thursday, November 16th, 2023. Welcome back to our Morning Blend listeners. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan along with Laverne Gardner, and it is time for another installment in our series with Deltec Bank and the Deltec Initiative for Young Entrepreneurs program, and we're going to meet another one of the finalists this morning. So we're very excited about that. We've got back with us this morning from Deltec Bank on the DIYE committee, Sancher Auden, and we have one of the finalists from Body Bahama, Reisa Baisden. Good morning to you both. Great to have you with us.
Good morning. Great to be here.
Good morning.
Great to hear you all. Great to have you with us. Okay, so Sanjay, let's begin with you. Tell us, for those who might not have been following so far, this is part 4, but what the DIYE program is all about.
Okay, thank you, Dwight. So since 2013, the Deltec Initiatives Foundation advocates for promising young Bahamians. Our mission is to foster an environment that empowers young Bahamians to drive positive social impact through the arts, scholarship, education, and entrepreneurship. In 2016, the Deltec Initiative for Young Entrepreneurs, that's the DIYE, launched to empower and support young Bahamians that have innovative ideas to grow their small and medium-sized enterprises. So for a few months, Deltec employees like myself volunteer their time and expertise to help shape these entrepreneurs' business models, develop their presentation skills, and expose them to Deltec's global network. So far, this year's finalists include Michael Johnson of Blue Water Organic Farm, which is a shrimp farm based in Grand Bahama. There's also Regina Smith and Kentisha Ward of Grow the Food Lab, and that's a culinary hub for Bahamian chefs, farmers, and manufacturers. We also have artist Rembert Mortimer of RGMI Waynehead Productions. We also have Aaron Pinder of Perfect Tone, which is a family-owned business that manufactures skincare products and provides aesthetic services. And we have Nakia Bryce of Infinity Consulting, and that's an IT consultancy based on developing an online farmers market. And of course, we have Ms. Basin of Body Bahama, a handmade bath and body product line with national distribution. So all of these entrepreneurs will take part in a business pitch competition, which is like a Shark Tank format on Tuesday, December 5th. The competition is closed to the public, but it's going to be a very exciting competition. So we're looking forward to it.
Mm-hmm. And they're competing for a pretty good prize. Is that right?
A very good prize, Dwight. They are actually competing for a $10,000 investment into their businesses.
Wow, excellent stuff. And so we'll talk to you in a bit, Sandra, about what folks who might be interested in getting into the next cohort next year need to be doing. But we'll come back to that. All right, so Reisa Baisden, this is very exciting. Tell us about yourself and about Body Bahama and how this came to be.
Hi, so my name is Raisa. I am the owner of Body Bahama. I'm a native of Grand Bahama, but I currently reside in Marshaba, Abaco. Body Bahama is a handmade bath and body company. And I, like many people I know, have always loved bath and body products, always loved fragrances, but I also loved trying to make them on my own. And it wasn't until about 2016 I started, creating my own soaps and lotions and bath bombs. And
how did that come to be? Why make them on your own? What got you interested in that?
I just love to experiment.
Wow.
I just love to experiment. Yeah. And I love to mix different oils into hair cream. So I would always be mixing like my favorite products together. I would take like my favorite bath and body lotions and mix them together to create a whole new scent.
Oh, wow.
So that I would have a scent that nobody else had. So around 2018, after I had my son, I was like, you know what? I think I should maybe try my hand at starting a business with this. And so I did that. I tested for about a year, tested products on my coworkers, and I took different classes and courses to learn how to formulate.
On your coworkers?
And I launched Body Bahama. Sorry?
You tested on your coworkers?
Yes,
Yeah?
I did. I needed feedback, and they were the closest ones to me. So,
Wow. And they were open. They had no issue with it.
They were very open, very honest, and they loved everything.
Excellent.
So shortly before, the summer before Hurricane Dorian, I decided to launch. But of course, we all know what happened with Dorian, so I ended up losing everything.
You were in Abaco at that time?
Yes,
Yeah,
I was in Marshaba.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I ended up losing everything in the storm. And, it was a little bit discouraging because I was just like, well, I just started this company and I just lost the entire thing. I lost my investment. I lost everything that I poured into for the last year and a half. But I realized that I still had, the passion. I still had the drive. I still had the determination. I still had a lot of things that the storm didn't take from me, which is exactly what I needed to restart. So I relaunched the company December 2019, and ever since then, things have been going amazing.
Okay. So tell us about it. You've got national distribution. Tell us about the products. Tell us how everything has been going since December 2019.
So I was able to get my products in stores in Grand Bahama and Nassau, and recently in Marsh Harbor, Abaco as well. So there was AML Foods that was the first, the first store that I got into was Solomon's Fresh Markets, both in Nassau, and then Solomon's Lucaya in Freeport. And then Save More Drugs in Freeport, which was kind of, it almost felt like it wasn't happening. It was very exciting, but very challenging because, in my mind at the time, I was just like, I know I have a good product. Everybody loves my product. Like, I need to get it in stores. And everybody was saying, you need to get this in stores. But I didn't, at the time, understand what that meant in terms of being able to produce on that level and, just being able to supply wholesale, but I figured it out. And then I was able to reach out to other stores like, hey, my products are in this place in the next, would you consider? A few people took it on. Abaco Island Pharmacy was one of them. Some of my products are currently sold there as well. And then I also had companies reaching out. So I did an order for the Grand Bahama Power Company 1 year for Christmas. I've made products for BTC for their they had a women's conference earlier this year. I've made products for Alive. They had a conference in 2021 that they wanted products for. So, once I was on shelves, word quickly got around about Body Bahama. And I had a lot of small and major businesses in the country reach out for Body Bahama products. The products are all handmade. And made from scratch, which is very time consuming, but it's worth it in the end. Because I want to ensure that the quality, I control the quality of my products. I don't want to just put something out there or just buy a lotion base from another company and just white label it. That's not what I want. I want to be in control of what goes into my product so that I can ensure that exactly what I want my customer to experience is what they'll experience once they're using it.
Wow. Handmade. Is it only you doing this, or do you have a team, or how does that work?
So it's just me and my unpaid team, which is my family members.
Oh gosh.
But for the most part, it's me. I did just also expand to the U.S. So I have a partner in the U.S. for my LLC. So she helps out on that side. And of course, we bounce ideas back and forth off of each other. But even that is still fairly new. So for the most part, it's just me. And one thing I didn't mention about the products, they are all Bahamian inspired. So for instance, right now we are in the middle of our fall and winter collections. The fall collection is called Mama Bake That Johnny Cake, and the Christmas collection is called Christmas Come In. So we have products such as Johnny Cake, fragrances, such as Johnny Cake, Guava Duff, Coconut Tart, and they just all smell like what we imagine coconut tart would smell like if it was in a lotion, if it was in a body scrub or a candle. Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay, so your products are seasonal. So is it that what you sell in the spring, you might not sell it in the fall? Is that how it works? Or tell us more.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. So in the fall, we just have Bahamian desserts for fall, as well as to Christmas. And then in the spring, we have Flora of the Bahamas, which is just plants and flowers that are native to the Bahamas. So we have mahogany for the mahogany tree, and that's specifically for men. We also have night jasmine, which is not necessarily native to the Bahamas, but you find night jasmine everywhere. We have plumeria, there's morning glory, there's hibiscus. So that's what you would find in the spring. And then in the summertime, we have scents just similar to what you would commonly, have during the summer. So there's switcher, there's gully wash, there's mango, there's blue hole. So just whatever, sea spray as well, whatever is related to that time of year in the Bahamas, that's the fragrances that you will find.
Oh, this is amazing.
So Dwight, if I can just jump in right here, let me tell you about Raisa and these fantastic products. So I am in possession of 2 body scrubs.
Okay.
Pumpkin roll and Johnny Cake.
Wow.
Let's just start with the name.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, Johnny Cake, well, what are we going to get this to smell like? So it's a very subtle fragrance. It's not overpowering, right? But neither is Johnny Cake. So that was good because I really tend not to like overpowering scents. It gives me, well, anyway, I digressed. But anyway, so that was wonderful. I'll start off with the scent first. Then I go to pumpkin roll. So I open up the scrub and I'm sitting here thinking to myself, I wonder how dangerous it would be for me to taste this.
You know what? That's what I'm thinking. Like these things sound like you want to take a bite out of it.
Please don't eat it.
I wanted to taste it because of the smell. It smelled like pumpkin roll.
Wow.
It smelled like pumpkin roll. I was tempted. I didn't do it, but I really contemplated for at least about 2 to 3 minutes. If I could just maybe taste a little of it. So I got those body scrubs. So that was great. The fragrance already pulled me in. Then I had to try it because I have a thing with body scrubs. Sometimes you purchase body scrubs and it's like it's so much liquid. You almost have to like use a sieve or something to kind of scoop up the actual scrub to get a good, to exfoliate properly. But I did not have that issue. The consistency, it's nice and thick. And I just went to town with that. It was great products. Great products. And the pumpkin roll, it has more of like a soap consistency when you begin to exfoliate. But no complaints for me. I was very impressed. It's thick. You get all of that scrub that you need. You're going to get a good exfoliation and not in an annoying way, like am I taking off my skin, but and the fragrance lasted after I washed it. I could still smell the pumpkin roll. I could still even smell the subtle fragrance of the Johnny Cake. The names alone, but when you get the actual product, it's thick, it's rich, and you really get that.
Oh, wow. Now I have even more questions, Risa. I mean, okay, so you're doing this full time, I take it.
Yes.
This is your full-time job now.
Yes, it is.
Okay, all right. So how do you maintain the quality? How are you doing this? Right? Like Laverne said, the consistency and do you sleep?
Sometimes, but I try to. But when I can, there's always coffee that gets me through.
Oh, wow. So at any given time, each season, how many different products do you have? How many different product lines do you have?
So I try to stick to 5 cents per season. Okay. So for right now, we do have Johnny Cake, coconut tart, guava duff, pumpkin roll, and glazed donut.
Wow.
Yeah. So I try to stick to 5 cents.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. You have guava duff?
I sure do.
And that is at either Solomon's or Save More?
No. So you might find it at Save More if they have more, but I will send you guava duff to Freeport just to make sure that you have it.
Please and thank you.
Just to make sure that you have it.
Mm-hmm. And so are you throughout the season making more, or do you make a batch and then that's it? How does that work?
No, I'm constantly making. So as there's demand, I'm making it. If I run out, I'm making it. I have to make more. I literally cannot say once somebody's tried something and they come back, I can't say it's sold out because my customers don't understand that sold out, but I need it. So I'm constantly making more. But what I do is I make them in batches. I don't just like make an individual scrub once I get an order. I would make a batch, upload it to my website, and then as things are sold out, I just make more to be able to replenish.
Okay.
Typically, how long does it take you to make a batch? Let's say a batch of pumpkin roll, whatever. How long does that take? What's that process look like? An hour, 2 hours, 5 hours?
So I make my own scrub base, which is the soap base. So that's what you experience with the pumpkin roll. So I make the soap base, and that takes about an hour. And once it's made, it needs 8 hours to set. So I cannot make scrub base and scrub on the same day. So I would just make like a bucket, like a 5-gallon bucket of soap base so that I have it for a while. And then once the base is done, I just add it to the other ingredients for my scrub. So there's the fragrance and the oils and the glycerin and everything else that I add to the scrub. And then the color specifically for each scent. So you'll see your pumpkin roll is orange. I want it to look like a pumpkin. And then your guava duff is like a little brown. Sorry, not your guava duff. Your Johnny cake is the same color that you would see on the outside of the Johnny cake. So it takes me about maybe half an hour to make the actual body scrub once the base is already made.
Okay.
Wow.
And other than body scrub, what else do you offer?
So I have body creams, which is just a lightweight moisturizing lotion. It's not thin like watery, but it's very lightweight and it goes on really smoothly. And then I have body butters for just extra moisture, extra hydration. And then there's also face scrubs. I have the turmeric and tea tree face scrub, which has lemongrass oil in it. That is my bestseller.
Wow.
I don't even have, I can't even keep that around for myself because it just goes so quickly.
So that one's available year round, that one?
Yes, that is year round. Okay. I have to keep that around all the time.
Okay.
That some people buy 3 at a time, 5 at a time, just to make sure that they always have it. And then I also have candles, which is another bestseller. Everybody loves candles. I've realized since I got into this business, not everybody is as big on fragrance as I thought, but meaning on their skin, but they do love candles. So I do have some customers who strictly purchase candles, not the body care items. And then there's also body mist. So I will get you, Laverne, a Guava Dove body spray, lotion, and body scrub so that you can experience the full Guava Dove collection.
So can you get a Guava Dove candle?
Yes. Guava Dove candle as well.
Listen to me. Here is my Christmas budget out the window.
Oh, man. Wow. And you said it earlier, you do have products for men as well. Let's talk about your men's line.
I do. Sorry?
Tell us about the men's line. What'd you have?
So it's the same as the other scents. It's just in a stronger, like in a manly scent. So for instance, for summer there's Blue Hole. For fall and winter, I did not mention, there's Rum Cake. So those are the men's scents. Wow. And then in the spring there's Mahogany.
Okay, so
it's all the same. But I will tell you, I find that a lot of men like the softer scents.
Oh boy.
Yeah. I have one customer in particular, he would buy body scrubs for his wife and she would come back and be like, well, he used all. What was the point of him getting it for me if he used all of it?
Wow.
But yes, we do have men's scents. I try to keep one male scent per collection just to ensure that I'm not leaving you guys out. So if you would like some rum cake items, I can definitely get them to you.
That sounds wonderful. Wow. All right. So you mentioned some already, but without giving away your trade secrets, what are some of the ingredients that you can share with us that you use, that are unique to you, I guess?
Yeah. Okay. So in the soap base that I make for the body scrubs, there's cocamidopropylbutane, which is just a soap that's derived from coconuts. There is vegetable glycerin for hydration, and I tend to use the same ingredients across products. So in my body creams and butters, I do also have vegetable glycerin. I use shea butter, coconut oil, grapeseed oils, rice bran oils, moringa seed oil, aloe vera oil, avocado oils and butters. It's all a lot of naturally derived ingredients. I try to stay away from fillers, like dimethicones. I try to make it as naturally based as possible. I do not use the term or refer to my products as all natural because I do use a preservative, which gives all of my products a shelf life of 2 years. But I use naturally derived ingredients. I try to make it as natural as possible.
That's wonderful. Wow. Okay, so if you should win the $10,000, how will this help Body Bahama?
Marketing is what I really want to focus on because Body Bahama exists, but I feel like, though a lot of people know about my company, enough people don't know about my company. I need everybody in the Bahamas to know about Body Bahama because we have our own Bahamian version of Bath and Body Works and everybody needs to know. So that's just mainly my focus, just marketing Body Bahama so that everybody is aware, as well as, international expansion. So I mentioned that I am now setting up my LLC. So just being able to not just get Body Bahama to the Bahamians abroad, but to introduce the Bahamas to people in another way that everybody can relate to. Everybody loves bath and body products, but not everybody, knows about the Bahamas. I want to just bring awareness to our culture in this way, because that's mainly what Body Bahama is, an expression of the Bahamian culture through bath and body products. So that's exactly what I'll focus on, is just getting the word out there about Body Bahama.
That is wonderful. Raisa, I thought you were going to say staff, because I don't know how you're doing this on your own. How you doing?
We'll get there. We'll get there. But for right now, me and my cup of coffee, we're doing fine.
Okay. Well, I hope we'll try to send you some coffee. Good luck to you. Where do you see the company beyond expanding outside the country in 5 years, 10 years?
In 5 years, I see Body Bahama. I don't want to sound too far-fetched, but I see Body Bahama being a major player along with the other bath and body companies out there, like Lush and Bath and Body Works and Victoria's Secret, The Body Shop. I wholeheartedly believe that Body Bahama has the potential to, sit at the same table as those big players. Mm-hmm. So maybe even if that's not in 5 years, I do at the 5-year mark want to be headed in that direction.
Yeah, wouldn't that be wonderful? Can you imagine? And Marsh Harbor, Abaco, the center of it all, right? This is amazing. Yeah. That would be very cool. Wow. Okay.
Raisa, if it takes off the way that you'd like it to take off, if you win this competition, and I know you said you want to invest the earnings in marketing. Even if you don't hire any other employees, you're going to have to start paying some of those family members.
Oh, definitely.
Because your company is going to be growing and expanding, and you're going to need all hands on deck. And since they're already trained, you're going to have to consider salary.
Oh, definitely. For now, they're fine with me feeding them and giving them products, but definitely when the time comes, they'll have a salary.
Absolutely. And one more time, remind people where they can find the products, and can people order directly from you?
Yes, you can order directly from me at www.bodybahama.com. I do ship to Nassau as well as to Freeport. I recently shipped to Eleuthera, so testing that out. But once that is, confirmed, I will, ship to other islands as well. And you can also check Live Well Pharmacy in Nassau, both Solomon's Fresh Markets, Solomon's Lucaya in Grand Bahama, and Abaco Island Pharmacy in Marsh Harbor.
Okay. And if other companies, stores are interested in your products and they want to partner with you, what should they do?
They can email me at info@bodybahama.com.
Okay. Wonderful stuff, Raisa Basden. Good luck to you. Sancha
Thank
Auden.
you.
Remind folks about the competition, and if they want to be a part of this for next year, what they need to be doing.
Okay, so if you're an enterprising, highly motivated young Bahamian entrepreneur with a business that can benefit from our institutional guidance and personalized support, please log on to our website. That's daltechbank.com/Daltech Initiatives Foundation and complete an application.
Simple as that.
Simple as that.
Is there a deadline coming up for that, or what do people need to? Any dates they need to keep in mind?
Well, we usually start around just after summer. Mm-hmm. So perhaps like around July, August of next year. Mm-hmm. We'll be looking for the next cohort. But it's too late to get into this year's competition.
Right.
But definitely you're right in time for next year's competition. So log on to the website and fill out an application. Mm-hmm. You never know.
And Raisa, before we let you go, you ready for this pitch? You've been practicing with the folks from Deltech. How do you feel about that?
I feel fine. I'm almost ready. I want to say about 80%, but I have some time to get to 100%. But this is actually my second year doing this, so I'm not nervous.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm ready, and I will say one thing about this program. Even if I walk away and I don't win, I've gained so much just from working with my advisors, that experience alone, I feel is just invaluable. Just being able to sit with them and, put my ideas together and just receive that advisement from them. I love this program. This is year 2 for me, and I love it. I absolutely love it. Whether I walk away successful or not, I think I've gained so much.
Wow. Well, okay. Wonderful stuff. Thank you again, Raisa Baisden with Body Bahama. Wonderful stuff that you're doing. And Santra Auden with Deltec Bank. Santra, I don't know how you're going to do this. This is, we've met 4 wonderful entrepreneurs so far. We got 2 more to go. This is going to be a very tough competition.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's going to be so exciting. But, we look forward to it, and may the best entrepreneur win, I suppose.
Wow, wonderful stuff. All right, ladies, again, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. And good luck. Good luck to you and to everybody. And we'll meet another one of the finalists next week, Thursday, right here on Morning Blend Business. Okay, let's take a break. And we'll be back with a lot more Morning Blend Business in just a bit. Stay with us.
Earning zero interest on your savings at the bank? With as little as $100, you can start earning interest on your money while you're sleeping, eating, or standing in line at the bank with the CFAL Savings Express Plan. Ready to invest? Start by putting $1,000 into our mutual funds and earn interest there too. Because at CFAL, your interest is our interest. Visit CFAL.com to start now. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations of Bahamians.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. We are now inviting passengers on board for the new JetBlue CIBC First Caribbean credit card. Earn up to 30,000 bonus True Points with your first transaction and earn on everyday purchases. Plus, get up to 10,000 anniversary bonus points every year after. Please fasten your seatbelts and prepare for takeoff. Visit CIBCFCIB.com/JetBlue for more information on where Blue can take you.
Guardian Radio 96.9 FM sets the stage for by-election in West End and Bimini. Live on Morning Blend with host Dwight Strachan, Monday and Tuesday, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m., November 20th and November 21st. Top issues, the issues every resident faces, which makes every vote more important than ever. Which political party has the momentum? Fair, accurate, and easy to understand information, plus real-time reaction from the candidates, party workers, independent observers, and voters in West End and Bimini. With so much at stake in this West End and Bimini constituency by-election, tune in or watch on social media for the information you need for by-election West End and Bimini 2023. Pre-by-election coverage, live from West End, Grand Bahama, sponsored by Old Bahama Bay, West End, Western Air, and KSR Rent-A-Car.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Get ready to jingle all the way to Christmas with Fidelity's festive giveaway with over $10,000 in cash and prizes up for grabs. Apply for a loan or open an ASU savings account for a chance to win big. Visit any of our branches for more details. Terms and conditions apply.
Ready to save? You can put $100 into the CFAL Savings Express Plan and make sure your money keeps growing. Earn interest on your savings while you're sleeping, eating, or standing in line at the bank. Ready to invest? Start by putting $1,000 into our mutual funds and earn interest there too. Because at CFAL, your interest is our interest. Visit CFAL.com to start now. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations of Bahamians.
Scotia is turning your wishes into wins this holiday season. Spend $120 or more on your Scotia credit card between October 25th and January 10th, 2024 for a chance to win an amazing prize valued at $15,000, plus 2 consolation prizes of $5,000 each. Don't have a Scotia credit card yet? Apply today for a Scotiabank credit card online at bs.scotiabank.com or visit any Scotiabank branch. Conditions apply.
It's the season of travel, and we're ready to take you there. Western Air offers daily jet flights between Nassau and some of your favorite island destinations, like Bimini, Andros, Exuma, Cat Island, Abaco, and Grand Bahama. Or if you need to hop stateside, find out what all the hype is about and try Western Air's daily jet flight services to Fort Lauderdale. Remember, all tickets are open, no change fees, no cancellation fees, and the first check bag is free. Visit www.westernAirBahamas.com. Western Air will take you there.
Ladies and gentlemen, fasten your seatbelts. With the new JetBlue CIBC First Caribbean credit card, you're cleared for takeoff to a world of incredible benefits and perks. Use your card and earn up to 2 times True Blue points on everyday purchases. Get your first check back free and travel to your next vacation faster. Apply for the JetBlue CIBC First Caribbean credit card today at cibcfcib.com/JetBlue.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
It is time for your morning business report brought to you by CFAL. BPL, Bahamas Power and Light, needs to install about 60 megawatts of new power over the next 3 years and is planned for a utility-scale solar power plant scheduled for development next year. They'll provide the first 25 megawatts. This is all coming from the CEO, Siobhan Cambridge. He was a speaker at IRCA's Digital Transformation Forum yesterday. He said the implementation of that first 25 megawatts will result in a 2% decrease in the fuel charge. He said that those 2 cents will translate into about $34 million in savings per year for the utility. He says this fuel cost savings is passed directly on to the consumer as the fuel cost is a pass-through. He says this is a significant reduction in maintenance costs, and the environmental benefits makes this a priority project for BPL. Read more about it in today's Guardian Business section. More from that forum, the government, as a shareholder in both Cable Bahamas Alive and BTC, is apparently unhappy with the services. That's according to Acting Prime Minister Chester Cooper. He was scolding the telecommunications companies for dropped calls and unreliable data connectivity on some family islands. Cooper recalled a story of trying to convince a billionaire investor over the phone to do business in the Bahamas, and of that entails of the country having a strong information and communications technology system, only to have that call drop mid-conversation. Cooper said, quote, "It is still difficult. The government owns 49% plus of each of these companies, yet we find ourselves with the issues that we face." He said, "Let me say on behalf of the government, on behalf of the 400,000 public shareholders, we are unhappy shareholders. It is almost embarrassing to have calls drop just as I get on my stride convincing a foreign direct investor who happens to be a billionaire investing in many places in the world. Just after I talk about a stable democracy, just after I talk about our stable political environment, the beauty of our country, then I talk about the stable ICT infrastructure, and the call drops." Well, BTC CEO Samir Abati, who also spoke at the forum, told the media during a break that he'll have to speak to Cooper about his experience to understand the criticisms he leveled at the mobile companies. Cooper also suggested that the telecommunications companies have not properly familiarized themselves with the government's endeavors for their sector and the PLP's Blueprint for Change document. Well, those mobile service providers want IRCA to clarify regulations on certain local internet providers bringing mobile-like products into their offering though the decision was made to not have a third mobile license provider in the country at this time. During her address at IRCA's Digital Transformation Forum yesterday, Rawia Hannah Ramming, Vice President of Legal and Regulatory at Cable Bahamas Limited Group of Companies, called for IRCA to provide transparent regulation on low Earth orbit satellite technology providers like Starlink. SpaceX's Starlink product received a license this year to provide its satellite internet services. The company has announced that it plans to provide direct-to-cell service that will offer texting services next year and voice and data services by 2025. Hannah Ramming says she hopes that with the country choosing not to provide a license to a third mobile operator, regulators will ensure that no mobile-esque product is allowed to be sold. Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism Chester Cooper announcing Bahamas Air service from Fort Lauderdale into Georgetown Exuma, a service he says will be provided several times a week. Earlier this year, as he announced the return of Bahamas Air seasonal flights between Freeport and Orlando and a new route from Freeport to Raleigh-Durham, North Carolina. Cooper said he hoped to have Exuma added to the international route of the national air carrier. And citing continued growth in tourism and a solid in-market execution, Commonwealth Brewery reported an 11% increase in net revenue for the 3 months ended September 30th. The company in its third quarter financial results reported net revenue of $32.4 million, up from the $29.1 million it recorded during the same period in 2022. The company noted that revenue growth was delivered through a combination of revenue per hectoliter growth to offset ongoing inflation and volume growth in key categories such as beer, malts, and spirits. Key highlights of the period included the continued deployment of Calic's Proud to Be campaign and the acceleration of Heineken Silver. In your Market Watch, recapping, well, before we get to that, overseas, Japan reporting today that its exports increased by 1.6% in October from a year earlier as auto and shipments rose. Government data showed exports to the rest of Asia fell, while exports to the U.S. and Europe surged. Japanese imports fell 12.5% to 9.3 trillion yen, or $64 billion, mainly due to lower costs for oil, gas, and coal. Shipments of computer parts and cereal also were lower, while steel imports surged. With exports at 9.15 trillion yen, or $60.5 billion, the trade deficit for October shrank by 70% a year earlier to 662.5 billion yen, or $44 billion. October marked the second straight month of export growth, but the climb slowed from 4.3% in September. That could be bad news for the world's third largest economy, which heavily depends on export manufacturing to drive growth. Now for your Market Watch, recapping trading on the BISX. From Wednesday, your market movers. Bank of the Bahamas moving 2,000 shares, closing at $5, down 30 cents. Commonwealth Bank moving 1,500 shares, unchanged at $5.46 rather. Doctors Hospital moving 1,000, closing at $10.50, unchanged. Consolidated Water up 22 cents to $6.92. Andy Mir Incorporated up 22 cents to $8.65. The BISX All-Share Index closing at 2,946.45, down 2.18. That's your Market Watch, and that is your Morning Blend Business Report, brought to you by CFAL, growing wealth for future generations. And we are back here with Morning Blend Business, our final few minutes. Dwight Strachan along with Laverne Gardner. Interesting stuff coming out of that IRCA forum yesterday. And our Chester Robart's writing about all these stories. That's why he left us early to cover these. But can you imagine? Oh my, you're on an important call, Laverne, trying to get business. And then the call drops. Oh my!
I don't have to imagine it.
we all can relate.
I don't have to imagine it. I think we all live it. We've experienced it. We have a thing now when we're on the phone and it just goes out. We said, oh, I won't call the company's name, but if you listen to Morning Blend, you all know who I have my everything with. We said, oh, that's the time limit. They're saying it's time for us to hang up.
No, actually, I think one of them
got to recall.
One actually does have a time limit. But okay. But you just
one does have a time limit.
I think so. I really do. But
I'm convinced. It's like, oh, okay. I guess our time is up. We got to restart.
If you're on the phone for 59 minutes, you're gonna get
cut off.
Yeah.
I believe. Listen, so we're all living it. I don't have to imagine it.
Well, maybe that's what happened to the Deputy Prime Minister. He
was on the call for too
59.
long.
Maybe. But this other story is very interesting here. Okay, so the mobile services providers expressing concern about Starlink. And we've got a lot of people raving about this already since it came to this market this year. But Chester's writing about it. Mobile service providers want IRCA to clarify regulations on certain local internet providers bringing mobile-like products into their offering, though the decision was made not to have a third mobile license provided in the country at this time. So during her address at IRCA's Digital Transformation Forum yesterday, Rawia Hannah Ramming, Vice President of Legal and Regulatory at the Cable Bahamas Limited Group of Companies, called for IRCA to provide transparent regulation of low Earth orbit satellite technology providers like Starlink. SpaceX's Starlink product, is SpaceX from Elon Musk, received a license this year to provide its satellite internet services, but the company has announced that it plans to provide direct-to-cell service that will offer texting services next year and voice and data services in 2025. How very interesting and curious, hey? Hannah Ramming says she hopes that the country choosing not to provide a license to a third mobile operator, well, I don't know if we had a say in that. Did we have a say in that? Anyway, it was decided.
I don't recall.
It was decided that we weren't going to go for a third operator.
Necessary.
Right, not the country. But anyway, regulators will ensure that no mobile-esque product is allowed to be sold. Hannah Ramming said, quote, as was mentioned earlier, I believe that, and I share the belief that LEOs, that's the, what I told you before, is the low Earth orbit satellite technology providers, LEOs, or is it LEOs, can provide a cost-effective means of connecting hard-to-reach areas where terrestrial fiber is not really practical, and LEOs can be useful to provide network resiliency in the face of natural disasters. It's important to note that services delivered by LEOs are going to become more affordable as the years go by and as their use is more widely adopted. Starlink, which was licensed by IRCA in 2022, has indicated it's going to be launching satellite cellular services, including SMS functionalities, next year. They're not just looking at resiliency. They're not just covering hard-to-reach areas. LEOs, I would argue, are the third mobile operator in the Bahamas, albeit the government of the Bahamas' stated position is that it would take, at this time, the advice of IRCA and not grant a third mobile license. And to the extent that the government has indicated that it's not going to issue a third mobile license at this time until the government has made an assessment based on changed circumstances or the factors that they considered leading to that determination has changed, I would urge that Starlink be precluded from providing these types of services in areas like New Providence, which amounts to mobile services. Okay. Now, while not specifically speaking about Starlink by name, BTC CEO Samir Bhatti said the LEOs present competition to the local communications companies. However, he contended that BTC's fiber internet presents a much better experience for households that have it, and explained that BTC is providing other technologies to rival the upload and download speeds boasted by services like Starlink. Okay.
So basically, BTC is saying, bring it on. Bring it on. We are ready.
Well,
we're going to do this. This is going to happen.
Well, with the internet side, the internet
and
side.
we're prepared. And we're
Now,
prepared.
He didn't talk about the cellular side.
Right.
But, okay.
You know, Dwight, it's not the same, but I also, we were talking, my sister and I were talking the other day, and one of the things we were talking about when, you have these larger companies who can probably buy, let me just hypothetically use an example. Larger companies maybe can buy more televisions in bulk, right? Mm-hmm. So maybe they get a better price. Because, the price scheme, okay, if you buy 15 to 20 or 15 to 30, you get it for this much. But if you could buy 100 to 300, you get it for that much. And then they come and they sell these televisions. And then you actually have people who sell electronics like television. Mm. It's like, how can they compete? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Right.
So we got to take that into consideration too. Even as they're pointing out this, that, okay, you're not opening up the market to a third part, another person, another company. Mm. However, you are allowing this company or companies like this who offer these types of services to come in, which is going to be competition for us.
Right. All right, so some messages coming in. Well, let's see. What did Chester Cooper say? Whether that was the deal was quashed because the phone dropped? He said, "I can't deal with y'all." What happened? Let's see. Let's scroll ahead. Let's see.
Because of that, the deal.
Let's see.
It was lost.
You think so? I don't know.
I don't know.
Can't.
You just have to call him back. So now you have to preface every business conversation. Listen, we got about an hour.
Or the phone might cut off if you have some challenges. Right. Well, this texter says, we have lousy telecommunication services, but to be fair, so does every developing country. That was only an excuse from that investor. He was not a good fit anyway. But again, we don't know if things fell apart. We don't know. We don't know.
We don't know if we lost that deal.
Right. Here's a message about what we talked about earlier with Risa Basden and the DIYE, Deltec Initiatives for Young Entrepreneurs. So this text from Abaco Neem. Abaco Neem salutes the up-and-coming entrepreneurs and wish them every success. Proof that Bahamians can compete with international imports. It pays to support local. Indeed.
Yeah, I love that.
Indeed. Yeah, thanks. Great message from Abaco Neem there. And again, to all the entrepreneurs, keep your head up and keep pushing. Keep pushing. You can do it. We will support you. All right. So, Laverne, the next time I talk to you, I'm going to be looking in your face.
That's scary.
Monday morning, where we come live from Grand Bahama.
Why? Is something happening next week?
Well, apparently everybody's down there. You haven't seen everybody? I hear half the cabinet, maybe the whole cabinet is down there.
Listen, everybody's been coming, but I can tell you what, if you're coming and you are helping the people in West Grand Bahama, keep coming. I'm not mad. I'm happy for them.
Okay.
If they are getting the attention they so greatly needed, and there are people who are actually doing things to assist them, keep coming.
All right. So we'll be live together Monday and Tuesday next week in Grand Bahama. Looking forward to it. I'll be back tomorrow morning with more Morning Blend and Morning Blend Business right here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan, have a great one. Stay tuned for Aaron Green and On the Clock.